Hello, everybody. I'm so stupid. I just sit there, and sometimes I have a problem with my mute button and turning it on, turning it off. And I've had to redo live sometimes because I'll be talking for 30 minutes and Squirrel goes, "Your mute button's on."
That
Oh,
mute button is evil. It don't know when to be on, when to be off.
okay. I have Squirrel up here with me because, well, some things I just don't think men should speak on about a female
Um,
without a female, I guess.
I made a logo, Mandy. Oh yeah. Oh, she said okay. Never mind. Yeah, I made a logo for so when both of us are on because I can't come up on panel on Streamyard at the same time because I sound like a robot for some reason. So
Well, that and it's kind of like Kim and Crafton does. So I use Squirrel as my mod, and also when I need a female perspective or just on a subject that I shouldn't be speaking on. Um, without a female up here. Does that make sense? That's so funny. You thought we were the same person. Oh, well, that's interesting. I don't know how I could be a squirrel and a seer. No.
because
We're
you're
two different.
multi-talented.
My caretaker is Squirrel, and she has a gaming channel. And when I'm on live, my caretaker becomes my mod because I need somebody to protect me on here and control that for me. And then after duty hours, when um, well, she's on 24 hours, but whenever she has like her private time or whatever, then she has a gaming channel she plays on. Um,
Yeah, I'm about to come into chat.
Everything's on my mind, Mandy. Everything. But I just wanted to clear that up first. I want to cover the Robb Elementary first, I guess, because everybody is just about the point where they're forgetting about it. You know how that goes when the story comes out and you forget about it. Uh, I don't know that it's anywhere, Mandy. I don't know how you do that. Um, okay, back to the Robb Elementary. I don't care what anybody says. The cartel is involved in this. There's no way possible. I heard the other day that even though he had $10,000 to buy these guns, that he was still wearing high waters to school, and he didn't change his look or anything. So where did this kid come up with about $10,000? Um, to purchase the guns and the ammo for this incident. You got to think about that. Don't let the news run you off with this stupid narrative that they have going. And there's another key factor here. There were all those cops there sitting and waiting. Waiting on what? Okay. The sheriff's department that shot the kid from the Robb Elementary thing actually ended up coming to the school after the tactical team that they were waiting on from an hour away. It took them 90 minutes to get there, and they still didn't go in yet. So the news says, "Oh, the tactical team went in and killed him." No, that's not true because you got a whole lot of other news channels, a lot, like five or six, that says there's this one hero border patrol guy. If you think about it, they said it really quick. There's one hero border patrol guy who went in and killed him.
I mean, why would you call a tactical team from 90 minutes away, which is over an hour,
Well,
and then not let them go in?
Well, besides that, you have, oh, I don't know, 300 cops standing around and snipers, but you need a special tactical team. And you have a tactical armored vehicle there already.
Yeah, why didn't you just snipe him? I mean, like through the window or something.
Good question, huh?
That would be the most logical thing if you're trying to like protect more kids or whatever. The safest option I would think would be to snipe him through the window.
Except that's the, see, but you need to understand this. That's why I'm still covering this, because there's so many red flags that this is not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is at all. Just think about the thing of the mom. The mom drives an hour from her job there. All these cops and sheriffs and border patrol are there standing outside. They arrest her first or handcuff her. Then they unhandcuff her, and she jumps the fence right in front of them and goes inside and gets her kids.
I think I read Mandy. I think I read on an article that like a week before that, they either the police or the school. I don't remember which. Maybe
Both.
But was it both? Okay, that they did a drill. Is it drill?
Yes,
Yeah,
they did a drill.
Did a drill on school shootings a week before this happened, which is just weird in my opinion.
That's another thing that I find interesting. Big red flag right there for you and Mandy. Every time a school shooting happens, every time a school shooting happens, they always have done a week or a few days before or a week or two before done a drill.
Yeah, that's
What
like
kind of drill are you running? Because maximum 2 weeks before, max. But on this case, they did it a week before because they had that graduation coming up. And the graduation and the graduates were going to be in this building because they have a history of the graduates going through the building of the elementary school and going through all the rooms because that's where they started. And they like to go through and thank their elementary school teachers and things like that. So this is something that they always do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when people say, well, why did he go there? That's why he went there.
I don't know how often they do the drills, Mandy. I think it was in one of the articles we were reading, or maybe the news station said it. Either one. But one of them said that
I don't think they did a drill because maybe a reason why. If there's an event, there was graduation coming up for the graduates to walk through. But they do that every year. They might have done the drill for exactly what happened. Mandy, you may not know this, and I'm just going to say it now. Everybody else that comes to my channel knows I have a red flag on the Border Patrol. I do not believe them at all. I believe this is cartel, and I believe the Border Patrol was done some shady shit, and the cartel put them on notice, which is why I think the Border Patrol went in first and got their kids. That's true. If they do it every year, in my opinion, it's not suspicious. That's right. They do the graduates walk through every year, but the Border Patrol going in when the shooters in the school to specifically get their children makes me think the Border Patrol children were not really the target. Maybe the Border Patrol itself, this was a message to them to scare the crap out of them from the cartel. There's too many red flags. Too many red flags for this just to be this kid walks in here and just does what he does. No. Okay, let's get back to the patrol. The Border Patrol guy that shot him. Watch. Okay, squirrel.
yes.
This guy, even though they waited on the tactical team was still outside, and this One Border Patrol guy came to the school, geared up, and went in with, well, no, they don't say that he went in with anybody.
No, they
They
just
say he
that
went in there and
him.
shot him. But then they add the tactical team and say, one says the guy went in there and shot him, and he's a hero. And then you have a bunch of other channels saying the tactical team. But why is this one guy interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. For this, you got hundreds of cops out there, right? We have a tactical team out there with a tactical vehicle, right?
Uh-huh.
What makes this one guy so special?
Well, I don't know why wouldn't normally a tactical team go in before, like,
where'd the one guy come from? The one Border Patrol guy that shot
he
him.
was near there. Like
He was near there.
He was doing a case or something.
He was near there at a house.
Why did they remove the cuffs? What cuffs, Mandy?
Is she talking about the cuffs on the lady?
On the lady?
Yes. Hold on. I'll let you know.
The parent.
Yeah, I'll let you know that.
Hold on.
He was the Border Patrol guy that came by and went in and actually shot him. Came from a house close by that was at a house to cover the people there who were getting in trouble for smuggling people in.
True.
So he was there about smugglers. And if you know anything about that area, okay, about smugglers. Yeah, I know, but I'm only talking about this one because every year they don't have every police force in the nation show up there. So we're not really worried about how often they do drills here. We're talking about the one Border Patrol that wasn't with all these other Border Patrol, and he wasn't with these cops, and he wasn't with the tactical team. He was off doing his job about smuggling.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
And then he heard about it, and he came to the scene. There were already tons of cops that should have went in by now. Tons. But the guy comes from nowhere.
That is true. They definitely should have been a lot more.
Comes in, and the tactical team files in behind him, and he goes in, and he kills the kid. Why? This one guy in Diggling, and he deals with smuggling. I think that is a huge flag for many things.
Well, that goes to my question, Mandy. With the cops aren't trained for a school shooting. They called the tactical team, and the tactical team got there, but the Border Patrol agent's still the one that got
the Border
it,
Patrol
the tactical team.
The Border Patrol was already there. The team of them. But the Border Patrol guy that killed him came from across town. Not from another town. He came from across town.
Yeah.
Because someone notified him. Why did they notify him? I guess he's the one Border Patrol guy who deals with smuggling, I guess. Can you hear me now?
Hold on. Oh, what was I saying? Crap.
You speak so low and you don't sit close enough.
I'm sitting as close as I can get.
Climb on top of the microphone.
No. I was saying about the cop, how you said the cops aren't trained for school shootings. The tactical team came from 90 minutes away and still didn't go in. And it was a Border Patrol agent that went in and shot him, not even the tactical team or the other cops that were there.
It wasn't a Border Patrol from the outside. He came from blocks away. How can you explain that? You're going to pull this out there.
I am going to.
How are you going to explain that? How do you explain we're all here waiting Sorry about my fan. Hope it don't mess anything up. That's the weird noise you hear in the background. Turned it off, I guess.
Could be why I'm quiet.
That's what don't make no sense. People see they're trying to mess people up with mixing so many stories together. It's such. I'm sorry, excuse me. It's bullshit. There's so many red flags.
Every article we read says something totally different from the other article we read.
And I'm deep in this too. Oh, and the mother. He had his reasons. Can you elaborate on that reason?
Yeah, that's very vague.
Can you elaborate on the reasons? What was his reason? Oh, you don't know? Oh, okay. Sorry. What about the dad? The dad lived maybe 5 miles away. Okay. But the thing that gets me is I think this is more about smuggling. And I'm going to say it. I said it last time I was on here talking about this, and I'm going to say it this time. They're never going to show us the security cameras from inside the school. Never. Never going to do it.
No, you get like, isn't there like only.
They're never going to show that. People can't handle that. I can handle war and the things I've seen, but they will not show you the film of inside the school. You're never going to see it, accept it.
Well, you don't even hear about it, I don't think.
That is exactly
I don't even
right.
think I've heard one news station or anything talk about they have footage or they requested footage or anything. Like, you hear nothing about the footage from in the school.
You ain't even got a footage of him clear as day coming in the school.
Yeah, how do you have one grainy few seconds of a
From
video?
the girl across the street?
Like, how is there no other, with all the phones and cameras and everything else nowadays out there, how is that the only video
They got
you
a
have?
camera right above the door.
That is true. The last time they did that, I think, was in that shooting that happened in the 90s. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Doing my job for me. Because there has been so many past shootings that kept happening.
Well, Mandy says, I think that they don't want to show the public because people could copy. Oh, no, that's not it. Because this wouldn't be hard to copy. Go to a local outdoor club, like, let's say Bass Pro Shop. I go to Bass Pro Shop. They ain't no damn guns like that in Bass Pro Shop. And they got a lot of guns. But there ain't no guns like that. Okay? And they ain't gonna let me go in there even if they had them. And I'm a vet, so I can buy all kind of guns, but I'd have to a gun show to buy guns like that. I promise you. Buy that many rounds. There's a federal mandate on how many rounds you can buy. The wherever he bought the rounds, would have been reported, but yet it didn't get reported. Nobody goes in there and says, hey, I'm going deer hunting with my military rifle and I need 300 rounds. Jeez, I'm Pete's. Okay, there hasn't been an interview at all from the guy who sold him the guns. No interview from the guy who sold him the guns, so I'm not buying it. I'm not buying the story at all. I'm more afraid that the truth is that the Border Patrol is caught up in something shady, that the kids were traded in ransom somewhere, because, they could just take them down the hallway with everybody rampage outside, getting all upset, and the cops are keeping them 6 to 10, hell, a block away almost, and take them out the far end of the building and put them in a van and take them off to the cartel. Nobody knows. It's my opinion.
That is true.
I have no proof
I just lost my train of thought.
I'm sorry, but I have no proof. The more I dig and the more I dig, squirrel, this has cartel written all over it. So if this is my conspiracy, well, then here it is. I don't ever expect them to show it to the public because that's too gross for people to watch. And number two, that's not why they're going to show it. But this these kids could have been taken clear out the other side of the building without anyone noticing at all. That's why they kept them so far back. They could have traded them out for the cartel to solve whatever problem they had. Maybe for all the children, they caught the cartel smuggling because the cartel don't care. They were all Spanish kids.
I did notice that. That was just a squirrel.
And for all we
observation.
know, that kid's over there with them too. There's no information. There's just a story the media is telling us, and there's no in-depth on the parents. There's no pictures of things. Come on. Did this kid live in a box? I seen the house, but
I found I think it was the grandpa that got interviewed. I found his interview kind of weird because he had no, like, he acted like the kid was a stranger, like they barely talked. He knew nothing about him.
Both were like that. The girlfriend, the mom's boyfriend, they were zip tied, quiet on this kid. So was the grandpa. Hell, so was the mom. The only one who talked with any compassion was the dad.
True.
I mean, I'm just not. It's my theory. I'm a vet. I know what things do as far as military tactics, and that's what I'm speaking from. They waited for a key to open it. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they waited for the key to wait. It wasn't the they waited for the key.
I'm waiting on the key for you to open the door. Are you kidding me? Shotguns will blow the links right off that door. You can go in quick, hard, and easy. All them windows, you can see everything you need to see.
Sniped, broke a window. Above.
You can say, oh, I didn't want to hurt the children. You got a clear shot. Them kids weren't standing up running around him, that's for sure. This is the most bizarre case ever. And they sweeping it under the rugs. And I'm sorry, the Border Patrol is shady as fuck. I'm sorry, I don't like to cuss. I'm going to be praying for a while on that one. Okay, until I finish doing my research on that, I'm done with Rob for right now. Now let's get to the subject that I don't really want to cover, but how can I not?
Are we talking about
the female anatomy spread all over the internet? As a Muslim man, I should not be talking about this, and I don't really want to talk about it. But the truth is, you've given me nothing else to listen to, no hole to crawl in, no corner to hide in without seeing Jess's junk. That's what I'm going to call this, Jess's junk.
We've heard so much.
You're a girl. That's okay.
I know, but still, I have never heard it being talked about this much in general.
I'm beginning to think I'm the only man on YouTube. There's Lycan. He don't count.
Glenn don't count either, or Glenda. I'm sorry.
Whatever. Robbie don't count neither. Crafton's
okay.
Put her thing up there.
Oh, I'm supposed to be clicking
Squirrel ain't doing her job for me. You have to deal with us, Mandy. We're not the most professional content givers. We have fun while we're doing this. Mandy C says, people saw analyzed footage from back then. I'm almost positive that's the main reason they don't release footage now. Oh, you're so right. You are absolutely right. They don't want us to see that They can't even get it together themselves. I mean, this has to be the worst put together lie I have ever seen. I've never seen a lie so bad in all my life. I can tell you right now, military answer. The call comes because we'd be considered a tactical team, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we do? We're going in. Kids are not. We're going in. The classroom is connected to another classroom.
Yep.
We would try to go into the connected classroom, but we'd actually enter in both at the same time as to create confusion of him. And we would have somebody on the outside watching in a scope for exactly where he is. And more than likely, because of the children, we'd want somebody on that scope, and at least 3 of them, in case my guy misses, he's going down right there through the glass. I want you to hit him in the back of his head. If you can see it on the side, all 3 of you fire at the same time. I put 3 bullets in his head. Now we're done with this. Maybe, when he went in, the first bunch of children in the hallway, and when he got in the room would be down, but there wouldn't be 20 people down. I guarantee you that much. That's the difference between military and police. Because then the police already get on there and say, we don't have to, making their excuses. We don't have to go in there. We don't have to put our life on the line for you. They started showing all this stuff in the news, but then what are you here for? For a paycheck and a Coke from a store you get to go in?
Yes.
We don't have to. Did you forget what's written on your car? To serve and protect?
That is true.
Okay, now I'm gonna leave that school alone because I'm changing subjects here to the. I don't know what you're doing.
I was waiting for you to
Oh, you're watching the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll watch it right here.
I'm trying to keep
I'll watch it right here. If they don't say it right here, I don't care. I do care. Don't let me lie. Mandy, see, how could they do that if they don't know what he looked like? They knew what he looked like. They already been to the parents' house from when he shot Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And besides that, Mandy, in the military, I'm just going to say this. From a vet, I'm going to pick the tallest. I'm going to pick the tallest guy in there that has a gun. That's how I'm going to know who he is. I'm assuming there ain't nobody else standing up. We can register pretty fast who the bad guy is. By the time it got to the school for the snipers, we'd already had a picture of him. We already would have known. I mean, because the cops were already at his house. They already knew he took the truck. They already knew he crashed. They already knew all that stuff by the time they were standing outside. They could shoot an innocent person. Well, hell, they could because of their police work that was already bad. But
technically,
I mean, not really, because he was still shooting. He was still shooting the whole time. That people were being interviewed. You could hear it. So it wasn't like he ever stopped shooting. So from outside, if you had a scope, you could see him shooting. And you just have to take that risk. Unfortunately, yes, but they knew it was him in the school. Yes. That's what I'm saying. A sniper on top of a roof or all the places that, yes, they knew it was him in the school. If my sniper team that when I was in the military, they would have had the green to go. I don't know if I would have gave my guys. You said yes, but did they know it was him for a fact? This is a fact. Mandy, whenever you're in charge of a sniper unit or you're a sniper, let me see how to say this without getting myself in trouble with DOD. You're trained very specifically to look for certain things. And this kid is inside the school and he is still shooting. You can hear it on film when they're talking to the parents outside. So it'll be pretty obvious to see who the shooter is. Because, like I said, he's still shooting. When all those cops are out there, he's still shooting. You can hear it. The snipers would have a go, a green light. That doesn't have to be released. You can hear it with your own ears. If you listen to the film of the police outside talking to the parents, that's why the parents are going, there are kids getting hurt in there. Go in, because you can hear the firing going on. Well,
oh, we're done. Hold on 1 second. I left. Hold on. That's how I do that. I'm trying to go off the facts and what was released, not opinion. Hold on, Mandy. I'm trying to catch up. I left the room. When I ask a question, it has to do with what was released and not for an opinion.
I understand what you're saying, Mandy, but it is kind of fact.
I have no.
When you can hear the gunshots. No. I mean, there's no cop outside standing there saying, I can't let you go in there because he's still shooting. I know for a fact he's still shooting because I can hear it on the film. The media they said that he was continuously shooting until the guy went in and shot him.
I know that he was shooting when the mom went in and got her kids. And then I think right after that is when the news people said that the, I'm forgetting words, Border Patrol agent went in there and shot him. So they never specifically did say, though, that like the Border Patrol or the police knew that it was him. They said that there was a shooter inside. And then they say that the Border Patrol agent went in there and shot him. And then they say who it was. So that would make me think they knew ahead of time. But they never specifically like said that word for word.
That's just the case on this. On this, they don't have any information. They're not telling you facts in this case, Mandy. I want you to go back and look at this on your own as well, because that's part of the problem. There's not facts that are being it's kind of, you're going to have to lead yourself to the facts. The facts are this: the police got called to grandma's house because earlier, I don't know how early, this kid shot his grandmother in the face. And grandma ran across the street and they called the police. The police were on their way to grandma's house. In that time frame, the kid stole the grandmother's truck, but he cannot drive. So it took him a while to figure out how to get it in gear while the police were on the way to grandma's house. Then he backs up, goes down the road, and then he finally crashes in a gully, gets out, drops one gun, one bag of ammo, shoots people that are trying to approach him, did not hit them, shoots at two men who are trying to approach him, that are coming from across the funeral home where he crashed in the ditch. Okay. I'm telling you the facts that started this right here. Then he ran across, firing, jumped the fence while firing, but his leg is hurt, so he's limping, and he goes in the back door. The back door on the grainy film, and he's firing, is obviously open. You can see it. Okay. He goes in firing, and he never stops firing till he dies.
I never heard it specifically said by the media that they knew for sure, like ahead of time, that it was him. Like when all of them were waiting outside and stuff. I don't think they ever said that they specifically knew it was him.
They didn't say his name, but the cops knew whose truck it was. And they knew he left his grandmother's house. His grandmother told them because the grandmother was trying to, according to her, talk him out of going to the school. Her words, not mine. Before she went to the hospital.
That is
So,
true.
I mean, you have very little facts about this case because they don't want us to know. You know, it was obviously him, but law enforcement does keep that on mind. Yeah, I know. They also didn't know if there were others involved. No, they didn't. They thought there were two gunmen because he dropped one of the guns outside. But that really shouldn't have made a difference. They knew the other one lost his gun, I guess, if they thought there were two in there. But the amount of time that this is all glass, room you can see in. But they weren't trying to save these children at all. They did not go in to save the children. That's proven. All the cops stayed outside for an hour, for 90 minutes or more. And it's just unbelievable the amount of children. I'm sorry, Mandy, if I wasn't answering that correctly. This is just, I guess, something as a veteran versus the police and how they handled this really bothers me because 20 children did not have to die. There is no way. Well, they're saying they're dead, and I'm not. This is my opinion. In my opinion, I'm not sure that happened. Is it horrible for them to tell the parents that? Yes. If that's their whole goal is for the Border Patrol to pay off the cartel with the children, and we all know the cartel does that, where else would this kid get $10,000 when he worked at Wendy's? How do we know he's not with the cartel traded along the way as well to get him out of the school? They had plenty of time. And I'm just saying, this is my opinion. My opinion is the cartel is deep in this. And the Border Patrol does not want people to know what really happened. This is one of those instances where there hardly isn't any facts past what I just said. Guy got in truck, crashed truck, ran in school with gun. 90 minutes later, 20 kids are dead. Now guy is dead. End of story. Let's mourn. That's the short facts. And I don't like them. It angers me because as a veteran, that's what angers me about this case, Squirrel, is that as a veteran, I put my life on the line for this whole country, and more instances than I can even count, in far worse conditions than this right here. So it's hard for me to just accept watching all these police stand here and listen to the firing of that weapon that's used for war on these little tiny bodies and just accept them standing there and accept them doing nothing. They should turn in their badges and have no career because they allowed 20 children between the ages of 10 and under to be murdered. And I'm not sure that kid wasn't murdered either. I'm not saying that he didn't kill the children. He did. But I'm also not saying that he's not a victim as well. Which makes me think that because of that one Border Patrol guy that deals with smuggling cases just happened to be the one that went in to kill him when there were so many cops outside. Is that making sense?
Yes. Sorry, I'm looking at chat. I know it's
and that's just the part that's why it bothers me so much, because I can't even see a good gunfight going on that happened. I mean, they tell us he was killing these kids from the time he walked in the door and reloaded.
And I think they waited like an hour. Well, yeah, they waited the 90 minutes because they were waiting for the tactical team. But then I'm pretty sure they still waited.
It was still going on before that. Then the 90 minutes. Then after that, it didn't stop until that one Border Patrol guy who was talking to the other family around some blocks came on scene, grabbed a weapon, and went forward, and the tactical team followed him. And these are the words of the guy, the Border Patrol guy that shot him. And he went in and he took care of business. Makes me think that Border Patrol guy has military background. I'm going to be looking that up soon too. I mean, I keep going over this case and over this case, and it's just
something.
It's the psychology that's always intrigued me, Mandy says. And it's just, this whole Rob thing just makes me angry. Because it's more than just these kids are missing. I mean, they're missing from their families' lives. Mandy says, I do find it interesting. I don't find it interesting anymore like I used to. It depends on the case. Well, I don't cover cases. I don't cover cases at all. If something... this is the first case I ever talked about.
This is the first one that you made. You made a video on it, about it.
Yeah, I made a video with the facts about it. And I did that because it angered me because the facts weren't lining up. And I did it from the shooter's perspective and his family. I didn't do it from the kids like everybody else. I did it from him because it just doesn't make sense. Now, where's the interview with the guy at the sports store that sold him guns? Give me a freaking break on that one. I might have to go on the Christmas hunting list for the one gun store in America. I might have to drive down there for this one.
Plus, I think the last at least 3 days.
Because I got to go see the store that's bigger and better than Bass Pro Shop Guns. It's better than that. Hell, they got an indoor range, in fact, that has, military weapons in it. Got to see it because I don't see it nowhere.
Plus, I think the last at least 3 days you've been looking at it more because these YouTube streets are scary.
And then I got to know how he got $10,000 working at Wendy's. And he wasn't, like a advantage or anything. Come on, people, think. I know we don't want to think about the good. I mean, we don't want to think about the bad. But this got bad written all over it. We don't want to believe that our country would do things like this. Really? I can see a lot of things this country's doing that I can't believe it does in general, much less this right here. But it's getting swept under the rug. Okay. Now, let's get off the school and
Oh, I have the mouse covering it. Oops.
let's see what Mandy C says. The problem nowadays is people use YouTube as a source of information. There are a lot of channels who spread information for views. It is a major issue because people don't know what is real anymore. Yeah, I did a whole thing video on him. His name is in the title, and I didn't, I used pictures from YouTube, but I went and got my info on hard, not YouTube or anything like that. So because I wanted to do it from his perspective, who he was, what was the deal with this kid. So I did it from that perspective, and I'm sure I didn't make a lot of people happy, but I'm not saying he's a victim because he shot the kids or anything like that. I'm saying that this is partly cartel. And I think the Border Patrol cop shot him. I'm sorry, in my opinion. Let me say that slow before somebody freaks out. That I think that one Border Patrol who works the smuggling shot him with purpose. And I think the cartel is blackmailing the Border Patrol with their children. And they're going to keep them. And that's their business. That's what they do. Sorry, it's not good business. It's not nice business, but that's their history. Now, I'm going to change the subject because not that it's changing it to a better subject either. Not for me. Okay, so.
Poor you.
I know. I shouldn't even have to. Alhamdulillah. I shouldn't even have to talk about this. So we're going to talk about, I guess, junk. Yeah, I've started on that, but I guess I need to declare more for, yes, that is very true, Mandy. Very, very true. That's what other countries think. And that's a lot of countries think that. They think we're weak. Yes, they do. Yes, Americans need to wise up. We have a lot more enemies in the world than they know. Okay, Mandy. I need to talk about the junk now, and I don't want to talk about the junk, but I got to talk about the junk.
For 3 days now.
I
know who started it.
I've had a headache because of this junk.
We all know the one creator that started it.
Why?
This I'm not even gonna say her name. The one creator who we all know who I'm talking about thinks she's better than everybody else, and even though she keeps getting kicked off, she comes back.
Let me just say this right here. It is my understanding, and this is the only understanding I have, thank God, that when females go to the doctor, if the doctor knows something, they do the same things to male, not in that particular region, but in anything that we have going on. When they tested me for my heart, if they hear something, they say, hey, well, we hear something, we see something, we want to do more tests. This is what we're going to do until we get down to the bottom of this. So there's going to be many tests. Maybe they'll put you on some medicine. It's a little bit longer process than one sheet of paper, but it starts out with you getting examined and what they find, right? That's how it's been for me with my heart.
That is
not my junk.
That is how it goes And for like 3 days now, I don't know, it might be 4, but I'm pretty sure it's been 3. Oh, yeah, you know who I'm talking about, Mandy. You know who I'm talking about. She just can't shut her trap about other people. But anyway, Mandy had, or not Mandy, geez, name mix up. Jess has been pretty much, I would say, terrorized the last 3 days by creators about test results that she sent to someone that I'm pretty sure she said was her friend, who I don't know how Natasha got it. I'm just gonna say her name
from the friend.
From the friend, so that's not a very good friend. And exactly, someone's medical business is not for people to know. And a certain creator named Natasha went on her channel with a photo of it and was bashing Jess and playing songs and like making fun of her.
No,
and
she called her out. She called her out like a football game.
It was
like
bad.
Dudes do at a football game and put money on it. Now, let me just say this.
It was bad.
I'm a guy, so please pardon me, but I'm going to say from a male perspective, I saw the women come together and take up for Jess, which I totally agree with.
Mm-hmm.
This is a woman issue. I don't think her business should have been put out like that, and her friend did it, and that was wrong. Okay? But my problem is not with this content creator and her business. It's also not an issue to me that the other creators stood up for her and banded together with her. That's, whatever. But this one content creator then goes forward to show another content, if you want to call it content creator, his junk.
Lysol's junk.
And I'm going to tell you, I didn't want to see that neither. There is a reason that people call these parts your private parts. It's private. Content creator from hell, get your head out of other people's private parts.
And she keeps talking about it too. I don't know why. And I don't know why in the world she would have shown Lysol's junk area. Granted, she didn't actually show the junk part. But, I mean, if your underwear covers it, it's a part of your junk, in my opinion. I'm just saying.
She certainly did lie about having a brain tumor.
Yeah, and
or maybe it's because she is the brain tumor.
I don't know why she's like, and now she's like, oh, how much money did your fundraiser raise, Jess? Let's do a competition, basically.
Now we're bartering money on competitions of people's medical conditions.
And then she said another creator earlier that she did the competition. Well, she calls it a competition. I just call it her being evil. About the money. And then earlier she said that she was doing another basically money PayPal whatever competition with another creator, but I don't remember who the name was. She needs her channel removed, but that ain't really gonna do much. Oh no, she didn't blur it, she cropped it so you can just see the hair in the junk area. You don't actually see, the
you could see
the thing.
You could see your leg line.
I don't know what's safe to say on YouTube.
You can see your leg line, like if you were a muscular...
Where your junk meets your leg, basically.
Yeah. She didn't blur it.
I'm not sure what word to use for junk, so I'm just going to say junk. But yeah, I don't know why she has pictures of Lysol's junk area. But I mean, if your underwear covers it, it's part of your junk. And I struck her. I struck that video when as soon as she popped that up there, I struck the heck out of it because that's the sexual content violation or whatever it is. Don't nobody want to see that.
Why does she have Well, because he sent them to
He sent them to somebody.
No, he sent them to the content creator that were talking about the medical thing. And then he sent them to someone else as well, I think. I don't know how she got them.
She hasn't said exactly, as far as I know,
It's
how
definitely
she got them.
a
but
she's got more spies out there that can pretty much get anything they want. I mean, the point of it is that you should not be showing his junk or
medical
2
paperwork.
inches, where the crease of your leg is with your junk. I mean, everybody knows what that is. Girls call that their
blanking. Hold on. My brain, I'm tired today. Give me a second. Oh, bikini line. Yeah, I had to think of summertime for my brain to work. I need more coffee.
There ain't enough coffee in the world for this.
There really is not enough coffee.
My thing that I'm upset about in this subject is that I listened for 2 days. I didn't go on purpose.
Oh, it's been like 3 or 4 now.
Okay,
I think
3 was that I wanted that to die down. I didn't want to have to talk about it. I think it's horrible for people to attack a woman on her medical issues or anything female related, because I thought females would stick together on things like that. That's just what I thought. I thought y'all would, like rally together and give her support and stuff like that. And somehow or another, this other content creator who thinks she's uncovered something great with one, medical thing would start betting on it like the ponies. I mean, now it's a PayPal betting thing, like she's at the track or something. Who does that?
Now she's betting on not betting on PayPal pools, but like comparing them as like a bet.
She's
to
setting
see who
up,
gets more money.
She's setting up PayPal pools as a race.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna set up 1,000. Now, Squirrel, you set up your amount. Which one of us gets to it faster wins.
Yeah, that's not how that's supposed to work at all. She showed Jess's medical information on her channel, and then she showed Lysol's junk, basically. I don't know, because she thinks she's invincible because she keeps getting kicked off and coming back.
No, she's just thought of a way to
that, or she's just that cocky.
No, she's just thought of a way to just keep her content going for that. She would do more if she got away with it.
6. What?
What's that thing for? What's that part for?
I don't know. I'm still confused about what the 6 is about it.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm such a
I'm lost, Mandy.
Well, that's okay if they can watch me. I got, some big business over here going.
Watch away.
I got, so much.
Hey, at least we're interesting. If you're watching,
you know good and well, Squirrel. If she's watching us, she's watching because
she's doing a makeup. She's doing a makeup sale. She ain't watching right now.
No, she's watching because of you. Because, again, I try to stay neutral, right? But she said, you're right, it's a blessing and a curse. But every time a Squirrel says something, anything, because I see sometimes she just makes a general comment.
Yeah,
you can do it right now.
Yeah, hang on, I'll drop the link because we know you, Mandy. But hold on.
Hold
on 1 second. Can you move this keyboard?
I can do a lot of things.
Thank you. It's in my way. Hold
well,
on.
look, Mandy, you ran everybody off when you said somebody's watching. They left.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna grab it and then
she just.
But since you said
just don't like.
Since you said someone's watching, I am gonna put up a thing. So just 1 second. Hold on. Where's the? Oh, hit the enter button on the keyboard. You have the keyboard. Okay, there's the link.
Yeah.
Where's the things at? I'm gonna put that there. That should help.
Yeah.
You just need that in front of it. What are you looking for?
That comment to get off of there. Now I'm looking for somebody.
Yeah, now we just wait for her to
Are you going on?
Give her a second. She was typing.
Come on, Mandy. You can tell me up here quicker than you can type it.
Here, I can get.
That's why I do all the talking. Because I can't type.
We shouldn't have to type anymore, so you can probably just sit that over there.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting on.
That's so funny that she sent somebody over here to watch my channel. I don't care about money like she does, so.
Yeah, I put the link in there, so. Yeah, I got the overlay up.
She doesn't like Squirrel because one time in
band camp.
I'm
sorry, I had to. Every time I hear somebody say that.
Somebody in a sub in her room said something, and this was back in February or something like that. I got an overlay up for you.
Okay, hold on. Can you hear her talking at all? No. I don't know. Mandy, say something,
Let
Mandy.
her up.
Well, okay, I'm just making sure.
Okay, now I can talk.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Hi, Squirrel and Mister.
How are you?
Hold on, I gotta move the thing out the way.
Get that thing out of her face.
There we go. You're already on it.
I like that.
Oh, you want that one? Okay.
Sometimes I like to look skinny.
It's good to rather be safe than sorry, right?
Well, if somebody pings my channel, that's like really a loser.
I know, seriously. It's like, okay, really?
Yeah, seriously, that's sad. If you Yeah, I didn't think about that when there were 6 up there. Sometimes, I have 30 sometimes if I'm lucky.
Yeah, but I should have shared it to my community tab. I could have I could do it on my other device. But I was just gonna say that yeah, she's always had that where like her moderators, viewers that agreed to it will watch chats. Like even if she doesn't ask some of them, they'll send stuff like, oh, this one's live or whatever about you. And then she knows to monitor those chats. And while she's live, she sometimes will turn off her camera. I haven't watched her live if she was even live today or even yesterday. I wasn't paying attention either. But she will sometimes, if she's not on camera, she'll turn it off and view like her phone. Like she's always looking at her phone and she's usually reading chats, reading her group chats and what people send her and listening. So she does while she's live as well.
Yeah, I'm really not someone she probably needs to watch though. I mean, I don't really talk about her. I don't talk about her that much anyway, and I try to be, even where I don't talk good or bad. But if you do something really bad, then yeah, I'm going to talk about it because I don't belong to anybody.
Well, even if she watches and tries to look you up on YouTube or look me up on YouTube, there's no information. And you're a empowerment channel and I'm a gaming channel. I mean, if you need some empowerment while you're playing a video game, go right ahead. Go right ahead and watch away.
It's not even like that she wants, it's not even about that. It's that she just is curious. She's always like worried about, not worried, that's the wrong word, but she always wants to know what people are saying about her. And if it's something that she wants to use later on as content or create drama around. Like, for example, I can give you an example of that. She had somebody pretend to be you this year because she said, yeah, you guys didn't know that? I have a clip of it. Yeah. So she
email me that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mandy. I'm sorry. Email me that clip if you would. My email's in my about section, so just shoot me that clip because I didn't know anything about that. So any information you have about that?
I didn't know about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'll email it to you. because I've downloaded a lot of her streams after she's gone live. Like if she didn't set it to private, like I usually will watch when it ends, like I'll have it recording. And then if she has it up, I'll just download it and then delete that recording. So it has the whole entire stream saved. And which you can do through this site, YouTube Mate or whatever it's called. But so she said that somebody called her. And you know, she always says, "Oh, somebody's texting me and they're being rude and they're sending me all these unwanted text messages." Well, she said that one of them, like somebody left a voicemail and she said it was you and they were trying to imitate your voice on top of having a fan in the background, because when you've been on my panel, it sounds like you have some background noise sometimes. So they were trying to copy that to make it seem more believable. And it was somebody else that brought it to my attention. I was like, "Is that Nashir?" Because it kind of did sound like you. And then I like really listened in. I'm like, "Wait a second, that's not him." Because you've been on my panel twice. And the person that told me said, "Yeah, I know, it's not him." And so they were doing that. And that was right after the night when you came up on my panel in defense of Miss Portland. And so that was the day after when she did that. So I thought that was interesting. And I knew the reason behind it was to try to make you look bad. And people are like, "Wow, how could he do that?" So she was telling everybody that it was you and you were harassing her and you were threatening.
Oh, by no means is that happening.
Who was saying that? NC?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't me.
Well, she's got some wires twisted then, because
no, she's lying and making stuff up to make me look bad is what she's saying.
Especially as your 24-hour caretaker, I'm pretty sure I would know if you were on the phone with Natasha Cooper harassing her. And do you think I would let that happen? No.
No, I'm sorry. I've never called anyone and harassed them. I've never called anyone.
You don't harass in general. I don't even think you have a harassing bone in your body.
No, I don't believe. I don't believe that you're like that. I
do,
like,
but it's really soft. No, I'm just kidding.
No, like, yeah, I knew it wasn't you. So I thought you guys were aware of it, and
no.
Probably because nobody really discussed it after that, she just left it alone. But she'll do little things like that to see, like baiting, just to see if it gets a reaction and then use it as content later on. And I wanted to mention that when you said that the real life stuff that she's been doing, I honestly believe that there are creators who, because we all share the same audience, that and it shows that in your analytics. So it doesn't matter what anybody says, we have the same audience. So if multiple creators are live at the same time, it divides that audience, and usually they will go to whatever title and whatever you're talking about if it's more interesting. And guess what? The real life shit, of course, people are going to be like, "Oh my God, somebody went real life." It's going to get more clicks than anything else, because people have been competing on, like, people who claim to be awareness channel, all of that. They've been competing with each other because there's so many channels now that are discussing her. And she also does the same thing. So I think that they've been amping up the real life shit for that very purpose.
Wow.
I do.
If people talk about me, I wouldn't know it really, because I do my live and then I get off. But I watch you when I'm resting.
I normally have YouTube on my phone sometimes. Like I watch you, Jess,
I watch
Crafton and
certain
Kim.
people.
Yeah, I think I only watch like 3. You, Crafton and Kim, Jess, and which one is it? Melissa Jade. Sometimes.
She's funny.
But
yeah, I'm usually not on like everybody else. Just
the funny part is, though, on your channel, you just have empowerment stuff and things like that, and then like you did the case or whatever. But you don't talk about other creators and nothing like that. You hardly ever chat really in chats unless you feel like you have something to say. And then I chat in chats all the time. I've talked in Mandy's and stuff before too, but my channel has nothing to do with drama, so it's not like I've done anything to anybody.
This is weird.
No, it's not about that. It's because you were on my panel and everything that was going on with Miss Portland at the time. I think that that's what it had to do with, to see if she was going to get anywhere with that. That's why she threw that out. Yeah.
She can talk about me all she wants if that makes her better. And she can send her people over here to watch. I don't care what she does, because I heard her say something. She's not lying to. I don't lie to lie. She's lying all the time. I mean, she really no. She hates Squirrel.
Yeah, I don't know why. I have done nothing to her, and I'm not even in the drama community. I'm in a totally different field on YouTube.
She hates Squirrel because, and this is what made me stop watching her channel or being a part of her. And this is way back February, March,
I think it was March
or December.
I don't remember.
It
now.
was somewhere back, and then she was a sub, and she said something to another sub. It wasn't ugly or anything. She just didn't agree, you know.
I think what I said to somebody was, "You're being really foul right now," because of what they were saying in the chat.
And Natasha attacked her.
Oh, I think I still have the clip of it. She called me I was on Twitch at the time, and then I moved over to YouTube, so I have to say that for it to make more sense. But on here, my Twitch channel was.
Would you say what she said to you?
She you made me lose my train of thought now.
Well, it ain't Twitch.
Called you a what?
She called her a roach.
Said Twitch off like a sprayed roach.
Oh.
She called her a roach and sprayed off like a roach, and she said some other things. And I wasn't even online, right? I was like eating, I think. And
she's the roach. She has a bunch of roaches all in her home. I remember her talking about it all the time, swatting them with the freaking, what's that shit called? That little that little swatter. I actually have one. I've never even used it because I didn't need it. But it's like it looks like a tennis ball rack type of thing.
Yeah,
and it like electrocutes them.
That electric thing.
Yeah.
Well,
he has one of those. She has one of those, and they're all through. She's like, "Oh yeah, I have roaches around here," and I'm like, "Oh my god, like I would be so disgusted. I couldn't eat." So she knows all about roaches.
She said some other foul words and some whatever, and Squirrel came in there and told me, Natasha just said this to me, told me everything, and I was like, what? Because the only thing that I was ever to Natasha was a spiritual advisor. I sat behind the scenes. I rarely talked. She could reach me. I would come to her aid if like she was upset about her aunt, stuff like that. I wasn't a participant like normal people. And when she told me what she said to her, and then I was like, hold the heck on. So that her phone number was scrolling across the bottom, and I called Natasha and I said, why did you just tell my caretaker?
Oh, so you did call her? When was that?
I called her back in February when this is the day I stopped being her spiritual advisor and was leaving her group and all. Me and
you texted her, not called.
No, I texted her, but then I called. They got the number off the bottom of her picture. Yeah.
Oh, because maybe she's playing an old voicemail. I don't know, but I can send you and you guys can let me know because it sounded weird. I don't know. Recently doing that.
Well, I just started using a fan, so I didn't use a fan back then. So yeah, send it please, because I called this one time. I called the number on the bottom, but she knew who I was, and I was like, Natasha, why did you just call my caretaker a roach and this and that and that? And she was like, that fucking bitch. Da, 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 da. She was like, whoa, 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 whoa. What are you talking like that for? Because first of all, I'm your spiritual advisor, so you say, and you're cussing at me like I'm a sailor at the bar. And so I'm like, no, stop right there. I said, you can't. And she was all like, if you don't like it, you can F you. And then she was cussing me like,
oh my God. Wow.
It was big time cussing me out. All because I was asking her why she did that to my caretaker. See, what happened between me and her did not happen online. It happened in this one phone call asking about why she said that to my caretaker. And so then when she cussed me out like a sailor, right? Like you hear her talk all the time. And I said, well, you know what, Tasha? This is a good idea for us to break ways because I'm not going to let you talk to me like that. And my caretaker is my 24-hour registered nurse, and you have no right to talk to her like that.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
So it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I get it.
She calls her my handler, like I'm a dog. You know, if you call somebody a handler, you're calling me a dog.
Well, that's how her following is.
Well,
She's their handler. It's funny how she says that, but then she wants to tell people that are disabled or who have any type of mental health issue to seek help. But then when you have people that help you and you have that in place, then she has an issue with that as well.
Right. So that's the only time
Very
I've talked to her. I've only
ignorant,
talked to her
arrogant.
yeah. She's very something. But that's the only time I've had words with her. And from that point on, I've never spoken to her again. And after that, me and my caretaker, we weren't on the internet for months. Probably 2-3 months, we weren't on the internet at all.
Because of that?
Yeah, I was done. I didn't want to be on the internet because I don't talk like that, and I don't want nobody talking to me like that. So then, what did I do next? Then I made this channel because I didn't want nobody talking to me like that. So my channel's
I'll be careful because if you talk about her, that will happen.
Exactly. That's
Especially
why
when you say that. I don't want her to talk about me like that. That's her cue to be like, okay, now I'm going to talk about you like that.
I know that. But see, you just told me that she talked about me already. And all this time I've been thinking she hasn't talked about me because I've been doing what I said I was going to do, not talk about her. But she's already talking about me. And if you go to my main page, the next thing I did after I cut, when I came back, the very first or second video I made is directly to her.
Yeah, because I had deleted.
It says her name on the top, and I address everything she did and said to me and my caretaker in there, and what actions I will take on her.
Right. I'm just letting you know that that's what's going to happen. So, and I think that you could be able to. What?
Oh, sorry.
You had what? No, it's okay. You had what?
I had deleted the other channel I had, and I'd waited a long time. I didn't come back either until I had thought about it, and I was like, I'm not in the drama community. Yes, I watch a lot of y'all that I like because you're good people, and I'm not going to have a drama channel. I'm going to do what I like. And so I remade my channel when he made this one because I'm not going to let her stop me from doing what I like. I mean, I'm not involved with her at all.
Right.
I think when I first came back, I knew something was people were lying about me. That's why if you remember, I came when you were on panel. What's that girl? That Kelly.
Kelly, yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, y'all were on panel.
Yeah,
Advocate.
Yeah, don't say that's what Dorothy started that shit.
Yeah, y'all were on panel. And I was trying to get on panel, and she wouldn't let me. And so that was the first time I went on Jess's. She let me up.
They told the chat, they asked if they knew you, and no one did. And then someone said, ask Natasha. And they said specifically, Natasha said, do not let him up on your panel. To Kelly.
Whose panel was it? Kelly. Okay, so they said that to Kelly when she was live. You were in the chat. You wanted to go up on panel. Oh yes, I do recall you telling me that the first time you were up on my panel this year. Remember when I didn't see you in the chat? Yeah.
Natasha said don't let him up, but I was trying to I even went on Jess. That's how I got on. Why I went on Jess's the first time. I had never been on her. I hadn't been on anybody's, I was just like trying to like say, hey, why are y'all talking about me? I've never been up on anybody's or talking about anybody. Why are all these people saying this stuff about me? Because I just started a page, you know, and the whole reason I started my own channel was because I thought it was safer for me, you know.
Well, I'm happy that you have Squirrel here as well to help assist you. But I know what you were talking about because, like I said, when I was on my stream, you're like nobody has let me up, and I felt bad because I wasn't trying to ignore you or anything. But yeah, that's just how Natasha is, and some creators that were affiliated with her at the time.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, there was a lot of them. But to me, I know probably because we've talked about this, because me and Squirrel have never talked about this since it happened, and she keeps trying to make it into something it's not. I am a disabled vet, and I am in a protected class, but I'm also not like Miss Portland. There are 5 levels to the protected class, and when it yes, everybody knows about the first one for employment and stuff like that, but they don't know about the higher levels. And I'm on the highest level that you can get. That's why I have a 24-hour caretaker.
right.
We're not married, we're not dating. She's here from the VA, by
Yeah,
the
I've heard of
VA.
that.
Yeah, employed by the VA, has her own section to live in. So I don't want any rumors about that, you know.
Most people either think that we're married or that I'm your daughter, neither of which are true. I am a 26-year-old grown woman that has a job as your caretaker.
Who gets on my nerves sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Wow, 26. That's
Yeah,
like the youngest one around here.
What?
She has
26.
special 26.
Oh.
She has a very special training that the VA, I guess she took it on her own. I don't know that story.
Yeah, they go through training and stuff. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, they go through a lot of training and stuff too.
Especially for someone like me. They
That's what I was
interviewed.
trying to say to Sir. Like, and I don't want to mention names. I want to refrain. I try my best now to not be. I'm starting to not do that when I'm on somebody else's panel, just because people love to go back and forth and be like, "Did you hear that she was over there talking without the context of it?" So then they don't even go back to listen. I've done this too. And I try, usually if I address something, it's from what I heard. And I said, well, I didn't listen to the rest, so I'm not going to speak on the rest. I'm just going to speak on what I heard. But these people don't bother at all. So,
No, they don't.
but I was going to say that like, I sympathize with people like that. Like, I mean, sorry, people that have those struggles, but I'm also not a professional. So I can't be like I don't know how to help someone like that. And like with the constant like change in mood, like where it's like 1 second this, the next second that, it's no.
That's why I did all that. That's why I did all that training, so that not anything, because some things you can't prep for, but most of the everything that he needed, I was almost overqualified for, and so they were just like, okay, you.
But they had to get me to agree to it because of my faith. That was a weird situation for me. And I went and saw my imam. That's what you call the person in charge of our mosque. And he actually went to the VA and saw what they were talking about. He met her at the same time I did and really had to okay it because she's a female, which is interesting. I mean, in that case, but let me just tell you, I'm an ass. I'm not lying. I mean, I'm a harder patient, I guess, than she expected because I don't know. It's because I'm a vet and I've been through every world conflict that we've had after after Vietnam. And so I'm just not a pushover vet, I guess.
Yeah, I
So
really give it to the people that have like squirrel that are in that profession because I don't know, wouldn't be for me. I don't know how I would lose my mind.
well, she does a good job. She really does. I have to give her props. I even have to tell my doctor I have my PTSD guy ask, you know, have you adapted yet? And I was like, no, I'm getting there. I always say the same thing and he goes, yeah, okay. Yeah. But I mean, I do YouTube to like just let me express my feelings, I guess. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
I'm
just
not
to be.
out. Go ahead.
No, I was saying like just to discuss things and share what's on your minds and have a voice type of thing instead of just doing one specific topic and content.
Yeah. Well, you see, they all left now, right?
I wasn't
Because,
paying attention to the numbers.
huh?
Are you talking about the numbers?
Yeah, the eyeballs.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't.
No, the little eyeball thing it shows you. I never know how many people are in here. They
There's
never say
the.
nothing.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, I know what you're talking about. The little the icon thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they never say nothing anyway. Only one time I had like 30 people in here, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?"
What were
Uh,
you talking about?
mm, Rob Elementary, but
Oh,
everybody was talking about that. Um, so I don't know. That was the only incident I talked about. Is all this stuff over in the streets that is over with this girl talk yet? I'm asking you.
right. Oh, you're talking about like the medical records.
The junk.
Um,
I
like
know.
I said, I haven't watched. I haven't been paying attention much today. Um, yeah, I mean, I was doing other things, and then I had my own live stream, so I haven't caught up with
Yeah, I
what
know.
was said.
I was
I guess,
watching you because you were the only one not talking about junk. I was like, thank God for Mandy.
yeah, I would not want to discuss. That's so weird,
It is
but
weird. I mean,
yeah,
it just is uncomfortable. I mean, I know people would say, well, you're God while you're talking. Well, you threw a guy's junk up there too. So,
I was thankful that I have us both subscribed to you because as soon as I saw your live come on, I was like, oh, Mandy, Mandy, please tell me you're not talking about it.
and then the magnification
to me,
down.
that's not even worth talking about. Oh wow, like even though I don't agree with it, I'm just like, I don't think it's worthy of a live.
I don't understand the magnification of it. Why do you gotta like magnify it? It is my understanding that everybody goes to an initial. My appointments work like this. I go to an initial appointment. They do this. Tell me that we're going to work on this. Then we go for further tests. So I assume
I don't
all
know why they keep
appointments
saying
work that way.
Just give it a second.
Whether you're a guy or a girl, don't matter. I just assume that's how appointments work. That's how mine have always worked. So why are we having a whole YouTube, crash
Mm, yeah,
on
it's weird.
guests?
It's weird.
I
I
mean,
don't even know why somebody will. They want to figure out the cancer thing, but it's not any of their business. Like somebody's medical information is none of my business. It's not my place. I also have no interest in it. But
and then
um,
today make it like you're
this is
betting.
this is the second time as to where it's been publicized, at least as to where, like, the last time it happened, there was a mod that used to speak to somebody, a different creator, and she shared her medical information, um, which was passed around. And yeah, because this person Now, the only time I'll call something like that out when it comes to cancer is it's if I heard them publicly say, like if they're trying to, I don't know how to explain it. It depends on their delivery of it. Like if they're trying to be like crying on a live stream saying, "Oh, I have cancer," and and they keep repeating it over and over, and then I catch them saying, "Oh no, I don't have cancer." It's like, yeah, I will question if you're being genuine about it. I'm not
Right.
asking for anyone to prove it to me. I'm not saying, "Hey, look, show me your medical records."
Right.
I'm just saying it's a questionable thing. And that's that. And that's what I did with that other creator. And I just played the voice clips of it.
Yeah. I don't
So,
even do that. Like everybody does the voice things. I don't even do that. I don't know how. So it's cool though. I mean, everybody does what they want to. I try to talk about, like all of this. I just thought the medical thing went too far. Um, but now, Miss Portland, I did send her the things. I don't know when she's gonna.
she already received it.
No, well, I know she did. I sent them the same day she received it.
Yeah, she came in my channel last night and said thank you and stuff like that when I was live. So I immediately told you about it because I knew she hadn't went directly to you.
Yeah, I know, because she still won't talk to me, but that's okay. One day she maybe will. Maybe one day she won't. I don't know. I sent them, and me and Squirrel signed it, and I sent them the same day she got them. I'm just glad she got them because I thought, she's at the hospital and all that. I guess I believe the stories, and I don't know that it's not true. So there you go.
I just take her word for it that she went to the hospital. That's that.
That's
But
how
every little thing
take
doesn't need to be cried into.
Yeah, that's how I took it. I mean, I don't need to know, like, I'm not sending these unless she shows me proof of it, mission, and it feels like people lost their humanity on here most of the time now, and it's really disheartening how I don't think there is a line on YouTube, not in this community. I don't even know what community I'm in. Like, I don't say I'm in a drama or whatever. I'm just here with you guys that I always watched before and listened to, the ones that I like to listen to, like I said. And then I come live and say what I want, but I'm not going to attack anybody. But if somebody lies, I'm definitely going to say is not true, but I'm not going to attack them about it because it's not my place.
Yeah.
But if someone shows proof, I mean, they did it for whatever reason they were going to. But I'm not sad to say to you, now that I'm glad we're talking on here, that I'm not sad that you broke up with
Oh, okay, never mind. It depends on what you're. If it's something, because there are people listening, so I don't know who you're talking about. So I don't want to. I'm just saying, keep in mind that you could be opening the door to your channel.
I was about to make a joke and probably get slapped by my car. Oh wait, now that's going to be on there too. That my caretaker abuses me.
That probably just got clipped.
I know, that's why.
No.
It's so humorous though. If somebody thinks my caretaker abuses me, if you could see her, that would be top notch.
I'm not worried about it because
she is a big, buff bodybuilder. Could squish my head like a peanut. Bet on it, buddy.
You're funny to share.
No, really. But yeah, I don't know that I am, but I tried. No, I'm trying to figure out how to say that right now.
Trust me, if anybody's listening and y'all clip something, go right on ahead.
Yeah, it's not about that. I just have been on here long enough to know that, like, it's more so for your own channel, not for me.
No, I'm following you. That's what I'm saying. So I'm figuring out how to say it. I'm just happy you broke up with your girlfriend. I'm sorry. Should have sent flowers.
Wait, what? What?
I
I'm
told
confused.
you said I'm humorous. I try to use humor versus giving them something to clip. You know what I'm saying?
I
Are you
think I know what you're talking
are
about.
you
Yeah.
feeling me, Mandy? Now they'll clip that.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about, but
I'm
um
sorry. I'm happy and I'm sorry you broke up with your girlfriend, man. Do you need me to send you flowers?
I love flowers, so yes, I actually
What
do.
color?
There's-
What color?
I like roses, I like sunflowers. Those are my favorite.
Oh, okay. Now, the problem with that is I can't mail them to your email.
No, I know that.
That's a problem. How do you mail
No, but
flowers?
my favorite flower, I love sunflowers.
Sunflowers are great. Or you like those big ones? The what do they call them? Dates. What do you call them? Um, there's a special name for them.
I don't know.
Uh,
But my email's open for you, Mandy. It's a secure email, so
yeah,
No,
Mandy.
I know. Yeah, I have to go back and look for. I have a million clips since the when I clipped it,
No,
so I
she
have
was
to look
talking
for.
about.
no.
She was saying about your address, so
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
talking
mail you the
about.
sunflowers.
I'm talking about for the
Oh,
flowers because we don't have an email up for this Nasir's channel because I
This is
don't want
why.
people emailing him and harassing him, so they have to go through me.
This
that's
is why.
smart.
I don't have my phone up there. I don't have my address. I don't have any info. If
I'll be back in
somebody
a minute.
wants to talk to me, they have to talk to me live, like we're doing right now. But
That's smart.
Squirrel has her email up, so if I need to
Well, I appreciate it, but thank
taking
you.
care of broken hearts, then you have to put your I'm telling you to send me your address in.
No, thank you. I appreciate
Yes.
it though, but I don't want my address to be. I mean, people already have it in this around here, but I just don't want. Actually, well,
No, Mindy.
some do, but I don't
Send
want.
it to her phone.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I
I
appreciate
don't
it.
want
So,
you to send it over this crap to get caught by anything, Lord. Oh, yeah, there's other reasons you're saying that. We'll leave it. Got it.
anyways,
You're figuring
so,
me out, aren't you?
huh?
You're figuring me out, aren't you?
Um, yeah, I guess I
Yes.
could say so.
Yeah, more than other people. I'll be serious when I need to be, but I like to be happy and make other people happy and joke around and stuff.
So, what
But I
other
was
channels do you watch?
um not many, to be honest, not many at all. I watch you the most.
There's
Um,
somebody that comes in my chat often. I can't remember who it was, but
I come as myself. I
no,
don't.
there's somebody that comes in like, Nashir enjoys watching your channel. I'm like, yes, I know, and I never really checked out your channel until recently. So like, I just looked at it the other day, and I was like, oh. So then I didn't have the all notifications on, so
Mhm.
that's how I was aware that you were live right now. But yeah, I don't know who it is. I can't remember the username.
Maybe it was Squirrel.
No, it's somebody else.
Oh, I don't know. Then I come to yours a lot, and I at 8 o'clock in the morning I watch Red Kim and them, but sometimes I don't because it's loud, and it's they talk about sometimes they just talk about weird stuff that don't make no sense to me at all. So um I listen to Jess sometimes if she's not mad at somebody. So typically I that's the only people I listen to. Brittany Jade is funny. But I don't know all the backgrounds of how people say don't listen to this person and don't listen to that person because I don't know anything like that from people in order to listen to or not listen to them. I don't listen to Dorothy because she'll be, in my opinion, she'll be calm 1 minute and babbling, but then all of a sudden she'll like cuss out of the blue. Does that make sense? So she
Uh,
makes me think of a person with Tourette's. So I don't listen to her too much. I'm not saying she has Tourette's but it reminds me of this guy at the VA that has it, and that startling cussing out of nowhere affects me at the VA, so I don't stand by him very much. He goes to one of the doctor's offices I go to. He
I think I
scares.
know what you mean. Like when she talks in a calm voice, and she's just like, she just raises her voice out of nowhere and starts to swear. Yeah, I know what you.
Yeah. So he does that. So I make sure I sit far away from him. I sat next to him one day and like to knock the shit out of him because I was like, "What the hell? Why are you screaming in my ear, dude?"
I gave you roses in chat, Mandy. Does that count?
Yes, that's good enough. Thank you.
Oh, I see in chat.
Now you see the chat.
She answered you in the chat about who I listen to. Yeah, that is pretty much it, ain't it? Yep, that's it. Crafton and Kim when they're not going like that's just
Maybe it's just because you don't follow everything, so it may not make sense as
yeah.
to what they're talking about.
Yeah. I don't like a lot of I think that if I like to stay positive. I can tell facts and still be positive, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I find it entertaining. I'm not like I like positive stuff, but I mean, YouTube, I view it as like TV. Like that's why cable TV is pretty much dead nowadays. Like that's a thing of the past.
Yeah.
So I find it entertaining, and I don't care if it's like I just find that this type of content in the community can entertaining. I wouldn't want it to be positive, happy all the time. Not saying I'm against that. I don't want like there are things that I feel like boundaries that shouldn't be crossed.
Yes.
But other than that, yeah, I mean, I think it would be boring to be positive and it's like I might as well just sit here and watch paint dry on a wall.
Yes. Like
But some people like that. Some people like that and need it.
No, I'm okay.
I thought that's what you were saying, that you wanted like all like positive
Oh
stuff.
no, no. It can't be all positive all the time. I try to take a positive perspective. I can take a positive perspective on everything, but I don't think everything can be positive all the time. Like on my channel, and if you go to the first thing, I guess that's the main thing of it. I do thing from. I have a thing called Allah's House. That's where I do kind of positive messages to people, and that's anybody that comes to my page to give them, inspiring things that will maybe they're having a bad day or whatever, or I'm trying to teach them a way to look at something different than they did before to help them. And then I have my fun. It's kind of purple looking, you'll see it. It's I was doing a roundhouse, but then people took that over and I didn't know what a roundhouse meant. I was calling it a roundhouse, but then I had to change it to a fun thing. And it was where I entered. Huh?
A roundhouse?
I changed it. At first, when I did it, it's just a fun thing I do about asking a content creator fun questions about when they were young and stuff.
Oh, that's what it's called?
No, it was that at first, but I had to change the name because I couldn't get people to interview, and then everybody started using that as a round table to
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what it's
yes.
called. Not a
So yes, so I changed it, and if you look on my page, it says Young Fun. And it's kind of purple looking. So I do a series called Young Fun, and that's where I just ask 4 or 5 questions to people. It's really short and then we just get into just conversation. But I ask questions that, what do you want to grow up to be? Just fun questions. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And so that works out well. So I have Allah's house that's about my faith, and then I have a young fun section, and then an empowerment section, and that's truly what it says, to empower, you know, empower people to maybe get a little
Hi,
stronger.
Christina Marquez.
Hi,
Yes.
Christine.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
So those are the things that I do mostly. So I don't know if people. I have a good little group that comes in, but sometimes not today. Hi, Natasha. People, I always now just assume they're here because you said that, Mandy.
I always get like,
Oh,
I don't want to leave anybody out. I really don't think she watches me because she thinks
oh,
I'm.
Breland just uploaded something. Hold on, let me see. That's crazy because I just made a stream about something like about transgender. It says Breland transgender hate crime. He was hunted. Oh, it must be about some. Okay, that's when she does the true
What is
crime.
the deal with that?
Sorry,
You
I had a
talk.
notification. I was interested in seeing what it was. What?
I know you were talking about that at the end of your other live. You put that you were talking about something and you put that clip up. What is going on with what you're talking about? I don't know what I know what transgender people are, but I don't know what the big deal is about it all of a sudden. I keep hearing little bits here and there, but what's going on that's got everybody.
It has to do with a creator making just what she called dark humor, and that can be controversial. Obviously, I I personally wouldn't like. I just didn't think it was. I wouldn't want to say it on YouTube and just announce it, considering the community.
Right.
And it had to do with Summer Wells' case. Now, there's another creator that has been covering the case. And in response to that, she thought it would be a good idea to make transphobic comments in return.
Wow.
And in my opinion, it was just counterproductive. Like,
Yeah, that's just not
it
that's
made
not
her look
appropriate.
just as bad, if not worse. Mind you, she has a history of making racial remarks, and she keeps excusing it, downplaying it. So that's what that was about. It's not anything with like what people are used to, like with the Natasha thing.
I don't really see
so
how she could talk on that at all. Anything in that realm of what you just said, because I don't think it would be healthy.
Well,
How could Natasha have a nice a civil, intelligent conversation about any topic you just said, because it just it wouldn't be okay.
I don't think she has an interest with that side of the community.
Well, I would hate if she did. I didn't know there was that side of a community. I just kept hearing little tidbits here and there, and I'm like, what's happening? And so I didn't. I mean, I'm from New Orleans, so I'm very aware of transgender people and that whole community. So a lot of people go, "Well, you're a Muslim, how do you?"
I'm not really interested in them neither. I just wanted to talk about that specific thing.
Yeah,
The comments were unnecessary.
for me, it's about a human thing. You know what I mean? I accept everybody.
So I just don't know what they were
I
going
don't
on
send
about.
flowers to everybody, but
that is
how long is it going to take her?
what?
Oh, it was Jill. That's who it was. Jill's the one that would come into my chat and say
That's Jill. Jill, how you doing?
good things about you.
Well, Jill's a nice person. Jill comes over here and
Yes,
beats
she
me
is.
up from time to time. Jill, you missed the whole beginning of this. We were talking about the school. So see, now you got to go back and listen to it again. Jill is my elementary school detective, I think. Every time I think I have solved everything I can find about this case, she walks right in here and drops a bomb on me about some little detail she found out, and I'm like, wait, where'd that? Hold on, I gotta go research that too. So I try. She gives me some nice ones. She just hears it somewhere else. She goes to other places. I guess I really don't know how to go to other places that well. I only see like these channels that I talk about. I mean, I don't know how to find other channels unless I just go to these. I like them and I do religious, my religious stuff. And that's all. Are you going to go find you a new co-partner? Who do you think I'm talking to, Mandy? Mandy. Yeah, what? Huh? No, she's on the phone, I think.
Mandy?
Yeah. What did Jill say?
Well, hold on, I'll be right back. I'm on a phone call.
Oh, I figured that out. Take your time. Take your time. This is just a great room of people. Yes, man. I mean, Jill. Well, we covered the school, Jill, so you got to go check that out. I just tried to update it. I'm still doing more stuff on it because I'm going to find out that one thing that I want to know. And then I covered, what else did I cover? Oh, the girl junk. I'm not covering that again, Jill. You're going to have to go back and listen to that. People need to keep, and I was about to say something that's not a good thing to say, so I'm going to just skip that too. You don't know what I was going to say? Too bad. I'm sorry. I'm just having a great time over here conversing with Mandy C. And I don't know why some people just like don't get it. But that's because you can't get it. I can't help you. I really can't help you. But I just wish we would quit now doing PayPal pools on who can get to the money fastest. I mean, is that the only games you have to take? I mean, I wish you subs would wake up. Someone's making a bet on how fast they can get your money out your pocket. Do you hear it? Say it slower to yourself. How fast can I get your money out your pocket before you notice? Every one of you should be making a stance right now that for 3 days, if you want to donate money and stuff like that, or a lot of money to somebody, especially if you're one of her subs, take 3 days and think about it. Is there something I can do better with my money than is there something better I can do with my money than a race? I mean, seriously, you work hard for that money, or you have worked hard for that money. So don't you think you shouldn't be in a race with your money? Yeah, Jill, I'm sick of it too. It's a race now. It's a pony race. Is my ponies faster than yours, Jill? I know you don't know that, but it is. It's stupid. Christy says we will be buds in real life. Because Mandy is her girl. I believe you. I don't doubt it. But I'm just tired of the PayPal thing too. I'm just sick of the.
Okay, I'm back.
How are
Sorry
you?
about that. What's going on?
You left?
Yeah, I just had a phone call.
I know that. We have got to work on your funny bone.
Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, that sounds convincing. Say, yeah, right. Huh?
Yes, I didn't. Sounds very convincing.
Yeah, you
So
did
what are you
some.
guys talking about?
Now we were talking about that stupid PayPal thing again. And in case you didn't know, Christy says you her girl. That was a quick recovery. Jeez,
Oh,
I'm Pete. We had a
Yeah.
big breakup. Now she okay. And if one of you people, if one of you stupid ass people take this and run with it and say Nasir said Mandy's got a new girlfriend, you're the dumbest brick on the block.
run with it. I don't care.
It's a joke. It is a play on words. Now that I cleared that up.
Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, the PayPal thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Jill said she's so sick of it. It's a pony race. It's the stupidest thing. It's just a way for her to make more money. What I don't like is that Brittany J, she's gonna break Brittany J 10% of 1,000. So she's gonna make 900, break her off 100, like some cheap shit. What the
Wait, what?
she
Wow.
said NC said she would do a PayPal for 1,000 and break Brittany Jade off 10%. Mm-mm. How nice, right? I just remember Jill says I remember when NC did a fund for the strip bar and the Uber for Dalton. I remember that.
Wait, what? I
She did
remember
a
actually fun for the strip bar and Uber for adults, and people are honestly struggling, and it makes me sick. Right?
I
Seriously.
remember that too. And then she told him he couldn't have the money because she reached the goal.
Yeah.
That
Where's the hashtag? Where's the 25K?
that 20K's been gone.
I know.
It's,
Oh,
it's like
sorry, 20K. I'm thinking of fucking
it's like the
I
it's like
find that hilarious. How she had the 20K, he had the 25K. Oh yeah, I'll give you 25,000 if you go
if she
through this
if she buys a new house, then I believe she still has it.
with these narcissists. Yeah.
Oh, she is such a narcissist. I'm sorry. I mean, normally like I said, Mandy, I don't talk about her, but today, I mean, for when I got up, I get up like real early. That's a military thing. And all day long, I actually, till I came on, listened to the just contradiction and her talk about herself and how she's so good and how she changed her, thing. And she thinks she's a medical doctor. She thinks, if you ever notice, she'll talk about somebody else, but then she'll say the cure to it or the result to it is something that they need to do. Like she told this lady putting makeup on. What's that on her eyeball? Her eyelash. Zooms it in and says, I don't know what that is, but she needs to go see a doctor. Same thing about lichen.
She thinks she knows everything about everybody.
Wait, she was critiquing somebody else's makeup.
She was critiquing past the makeup. She zoomed it up and was critiquing the lady's eyelashes. She said, what's that on her eyelash? That's gross. She needs to go to the doctor. Like she told Lichen, she zoomed his junk up and got to the skin on the
Oh, I don't. Weird as hell.
Who does that?
Her.
Doctors don't even do that,
Oh, did the lady have like a sty or something? Oh,
I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything.
I wouldn't want to zoom in on that. I'd be grossed out. Like, ew.
Well, all it was a picture of the lady showing her makeup, what do you call that stuff over your eye?
Eyeshadow?
Yeah. She was just showing her eyeshadow that she did, saying she could do good makeup. And Here she goes with the zoom in on everything and zoomed it in and zoomed it in further. Now she's looking past the eyeshadow, looking at the eyelashes in the part where they grow out. I mean, how is that interesting?
I wonder if it was fake lashes. Maybe the lash was coming off or something. I don't know.
I
So
don't
it's
know.
weird. Why would you zoom in on the eyelashes unless it was like clumpy?
It honestly, it just looks like a normal eyelash, except for you ain't got to zoom in it like that.
So you're trying to look for something that wasn't even there. And
Yeah,
plus,
just
it depends also on the camera quality, or if you take a picture of a video, the quality it messes up. Like in a screenshot, it can make things look different.
well,
It has to do with the pixels.
but is that really like
It just looks
important?
stupid. No, it's not. It's stupid to me.
I mean, I know she sells makeup, I guess. I know she does, but that don't make her a expert makeup person, I guess. Um,
An expert makeup person, yeah, right.
I mean, she's like talking about, the girl's skin was oily. She's talking about some.
Maybe it was moisturizer.
I,
Sometimes I swear, sometimes my face can look like that. I'm like, no, I'm just very moisturized.
she talks about Jess that way, always with the
The
towel,
highlighter,
huh?
I learned how to blend. And nothing.
Well, because she sells makeup, she's an expert on makeup application. I think.
Eyeshadow though.
I'm assuming. I
No.
mean, I learn every
Before that,
day.
fucking her eyeshadows.
I'm sorry,
I
what?
guess it has improved a little bit, but thank God she's not doing that thing with the eyeliner. By the way, gel liner, that's the way to go. No, Natasha used to do her makeup. Like, I understand things take time, but she reminded me of a raccoon when she was doing the top liner. It was too thick. So I just think it's funny how she was judging somebody else and how they do makeup. I mean, like I said, hers has improved, but she does not know. She needs to work on that blending of the shadow.
Mm,
Um, and also learn how to use highlighter.
I got a
Doesn't
yellow.
mean that you're making yourself look like a clown. It means that you're enhancing, you're making makeup's meant to make your features like pop out, like your good features, like your eyes, or like if you have nice cheekbones, lips. For the women that do that, like where they look like a whole different person, I don't know. That's weird to me because it's like that's deceiving. But I don't like using makeup like that. I like to just put it on my eyes and use like highlighter on my cheeks and stuff to make it give that glowy look. So I remember when I went on camera on my channel the last time, they're like, "You look so like you're glowing." I'm like, "Yeah, that's called highlighter." But you wouldn't know about that because you don't.
Exactly. I was just about to say. I I was just about to say. I hope you're right because I cannot comment. I, you know what I know about makeup? The real simple stuff. When you pick the girl up, if she looks pretty, tell her she's pretty, whether there's makeup or not. That's all my job is.
Well, I
Just
can't
say,
when a guy or somebody rushes you and they think like that just annoys me. So they're like, yeah, well, whether on or listen, just do what the woman wants. If she wants to wear the makeup, give her the time to put it on. If you can't understand about makeup as a man, then give her time and stop trying to rush.
I don't get in the conversation. I know I lost half of a professional football game one time waiting on a girl.
I know I take my sweet time.
It was halftime before we got to the game, and she was just working on her hair.
Yeah, that's like me.
I was like,
I'm
"Oh
like,
my!"
oh yeah, I'm almost done. Just give me like 30 minutes.
Oh, I never heard
About
3 minutes.
later.
There was no timeline in that. She just said, "Hold on, I'm doing my hair." And then her mom and dad said, "We'll meet y'all there." And I thought she meant like 5 or 10 minutes from the parents. And the dad said, "You'll be all right." I was like, "What the hell?" Half an hour later, the halftime was on show on the field when we got there. I was like, what the hell?
And it'll be like midnight, and I'm like, I'm ready now. The whole day passed.
Yeah, and the guy's got to say, yeah, now if you start taking it off, we'll make you sleep on time. Oh, that's so bad. I don't, I don't really care. If the girl takes that long, it just takes that long. As long as she feels good about it, I'm okay. That's me, though. I'll wait. Jill says, when my daughter was in C's minor age, we had so much fun. Sleepovers, vacations, birthday parties, picking up formals. I almost said formula, and touring colleges.
Wait,
She
huh? When my daughter was in, sorry, I couldn't. When my daughter was in, say something. When my daughter was NC's age, we had so much fun: sleepovers, vacations, birthday parties, picking out formals, and touring colleges. She wouldn't even know what to think if I acted like NC. Colleges as that age?
Yeah, why not?
Maybe it was different back then.
Well, you got smart ones, I mean, like 15 years old going to college. You got one of those, Jill? 15,
Yeah.
graduating 12.
Yeah.
I like the ones that's a little kid. I'm 11. What grade you going to? I'm a senior in college. Get the hell out of my face.
And they must be very intelligent.
You just need to tell them what I tell them. Bless you. Get the hell out of my face. Because I don't want to hear this little dude got to.
Your audio is kind of coming in and out.
Hold on.
Did you mess with your headphones?
No,
Oh,
is that
wow,
better?
Phil, that's impressive.
Oh Lord, is that better?
Yeah, it's good now.
Hold on, we got a visitor.
Hey.
Hello,
Oh,
Miss
hi, Miss
Portland.
Portland. Oh my God.
How
I
are
didn't
you?
expect you to be here.
Well, I'm okay. Nasir, I wanted to come up and say thank you for the flowers. That was very nice of you.
You're more than welcome.
They're beautiful. I'm just sorry that I have not made any contact for a while. I've just been put through so much mentally. I've been ignoring everybody and not communicating.
I got it.
So, hi, Mandy.
Hi, Miss Portland.
Hi, Miss Portland. I hope you're doing well.
I see your
I'm
hubby
okay.
back there. Tell
I'm
your
okay.
hubby.
How's
Tell
Mr.
your hubby,
Portland?
He's okay. He's making supper.
Yeah, I
That's
see him
good.
way back there hiding.
Yeah, he's all the way back in the kitchen. Mandy, I need to apologize to you for what happened last week between us. It should not have ever happened. And again, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Okay?
I accept your apology.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So what you been up to?
Well, not much. Not much. Just, doing my own thing. I went to the Justice Center today and took legal action. So I'm happy about that. I go back tomorrow to see the judge. So,
Oh,
yep.
wow.
Alexander.
Yep. So, other than that,
I
I've been
hear
doing my own
something
thing.
background. I don't know what it
That was me
is.
by accident. My volume was up on my other phone.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
realize it.
It's no
And
So
then
big
my
you
husband
gonna
and I leave early Saturday morning. Our son is graduating high school Saturday night, so we're heading down to go spend the weekend with him.
Where's that at?
Clear down on the Oregon coast. It's about 4.5 hours from where we are.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's gonna be a good trip though.
That's a long
yeah,
drive.
I'm looking forward to the getaway. God knows I need it.
Wow.
So yeah.
Is that close to Canada or going south?
Huh?
Going towards Canada or going
No,
south?
no. South.
Okay.
Our son is on the Central Oregon coast where we moved from 2.5 years ago, but he's still in the medical group home down there. So we're going down Saturday and staying the night, and then coming back Sunday.
That's gonna be a trip.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the getaway because it's been a rough year for me.
Well, you're not gonna have a year for the rest of the year. That's it. You hit your quota.
What was that?
I said you're not gonna have to do that for the rest of the year. You've used up your quota of bad.
Yeah, I know.
Now all you get is good stuff from now on.
I hope so. I hope so.
Well, you
I'll
know,
just be glad when all this negative crap is done because I just don't know how much more I can take.
well, that's the catch. You know, I told you, no matter what negative goes on around you, you just shut it out and go read your stuff.
Well, Nasir, that's easier said than done.
I know it is.
With everything that's been going on.
I know it is. I know it's easier said than done. It's hard for me too, you know. Not in your situation, but I mean, it's hard to like. It's not the same, but
right. And I also
understand what
want to apology, Nasir. I have treated you badly as well. I know you and I had said some things when I was last on your panel with you, and I was out of line by the things I said towards you, and I need to publicly apologize to you and tell you I'm sorry.
Listen, I want to make it clear, okay? You were on my panel. We had a great time.
I know we did.
And when I saw you, and we talked about it right before you got off, that you needed to get down because it was affecting you with all them people saying that stuff, right?
Yeah, it was. It was greatly affecting me.
Right. And then when you got off, I was only concerned about how the people were affecting you. What you posted, don't worry about that.
Okay.
Because I don't worry about that.
Okay.
You have to remember
I just wanted to come up here and admit that what I did was wrong. And I just wanted to show you that I own up to, you know, my own mistakes. Because, again, everybody continually sees me as a screw up. And that's okay. But again, I will always own up to when I'm in the wrong.
Well, I understand that, but I want you to know, because I didn't react to it, you know, because I thought about it all that night. And then when I did my last prayers, I let it go. I was hurt by it.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
I still let it go. I let it go on you that night. I did not hold it against you.
Well, again, I have regretted my words since it happened. And that's why I saw you live and I thought, you know, I need to apologize to you. So that's why I'm here to tell you I'm sorry.
Well, apology accepted, but I just don't want you to hang on to that with me. I'm not that kind of person, okay?
I know you're not.
I've been waiting to see you and make sure you're okay and have you back up here.
I'm okay. Mandy, I don't know if she had told you, but I was in the hospital, not this last Monday, but the Monday before. I had a really severe bad panic attack. And my husband even was scared and had me transported to the local emergency room.
Yeah, Cher brought it up. He brought it up, and I just said yes. I said that you did go to the hospital.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's, you know, she told me that, and that was all I needed to know. I don't need to know the details and stuff like that.
Well, again, it's just because of all the mental duress that I have been put through.
Yes, I understand.
I was just over my point, and I snapped, and I went into a panic attack, and I started having convulsions because of it. So.
I don't like hearing that, though.
Well, it is what it is. But like I said, I'm holding my own right now and trying to do as best I can. But
I understand.
if you feel like that's good to try to distract yourself and not pay attention to the like just momentarily, like just go away first, like just
Right.
back away from it and do something else.
Yeah, but
Like I'll
Mandy,
play
even
sometimes I'll
backing
play a
away
game.
from it, as you know, does no good. Because it keeps
No,
on.
I mean like in that moment. I mean like in that moment. Like for example, I've
Yeah.
had times where I just play a game on my phone, like chess or something, and because it's a game
Right.
that you play, you need a lot of concentration. My mind will be taken off of it for a little bit, and then my anxiety goes away. So I was just just a
Well,
suggestion.
that's why I haven't really been much on YouTube until just this week because, I've had a lot of emails and messages coming in. Are you okay, Mrs. P? We don't see you around. Are you okay? We're worried about you. It's like, okay, well, I'm here, but I'm not here. So.
Hi, Grandma. It's so weird. Hello, Mr. Portland.
Hello, how
There's-
you doing?
I'm doing good. There's a lady in my chat called Grandma. So
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, helping get that dinner down. We're just getting ready to eat.
okay, well y'all go eat.
So,
Come back anytime.
okay. I will. I just want to come up and again apologize to both of you because, again, I will always take full ownership of when I'm in the wrong. And I felt like,
You always do.
I needed to apologize to you, Mandy, and apologize to you, Nasir. And again, I just hope we can move past this because, I am to blame for my bad words and
We're past it. So
okay.
I'm gonna just give you one little thing, okay? Just one little thing. Because
Okay.
we're always gonna talk about faith, right?
Right.
Yes. So when you get frustrated, like Mandy said, go pick up your Bible, read a few little things, and get you some time. Because that you read your Bible or a game or yeah, a Bible or whatever it is that'll a game or something, anything that will take your mind. The reason I said a Bible, Mandy, is because there's no way she can read her Bible because I know she said she was doing her faith thing and reading when I read wrote that somewhere. That she can still be keep on to that feeling if she's reading that. I know she said she was doing that when you first came back before, so, do a little reading, step away, do a little reading, stay gone, few more minutes or whatever, play a game,
Okay. So anyway, it's good to see you. I'm gonna drop down because I don't want supper getting cold. So
No way,
thank you. And again, I apologize to both of you.
Thank you, Miss Portland. Enjoy
Yeah,
your rest of your day.
Take care.
take care. Oh, man.
Your mom has a tan. That's nice. Natural tan.
Oh, Squirrel, you've been answering this lady, right?
I have. I'm answering chat.
Chrissy, Mandy, do you mind if Christy comes up here?
Who?
Christy?
Oh no, I don't mind. No, I don't mind. If you have anyone up here that you'd like, just make sure to just verify. You guys are already. Yeah.
I don't even know if she wants to come up. Do you want to come up here, Christy? Can you see her?
I would put it. You need to put that thing full screen just in case.
I don't know if I can. I don't know if she is. I don't know if I can. I'm not worried about
Just
it.
have your little mouse hovering the remove button just in case. When they come up, just hover over that. That's what I always do.
She hasn't answered yet.
But I would check the 3 dots at the upper right hand side of the name of the account to see if it's authenticated.
Hover over it. And stop. Click those dots.
Yeah, and see like the email. So does it say the person?
I'm in YouTube. You're in StreamYard. Hold on.
Well, my Squirrel's got
StreamYard.
first.
You see it through StreamYard. StreamYard will verify it.
I think it's really hard. I don't know.
I don't even
Wait,
know.
what does it say? No, wait, hold on. What does it say at the top on the left side where the dots are? Press that. What does it say underneath? Does it say her name?
On StreamYard or
StreamYard.
okay, click the dots on her name. Put user in timeout or block user.
No, I meant when she's backstage.
Oh, she ain't
She ain't
backstage.
backstage.
Okay, so if she wants to come up when she's backstage, that's when you do it.
Oh, okay. I'm not very I don't usually let people up because nobody asked me.
Well, if they want
Oh,
to come up, then that's what you
she
do.
doesn't want you tonight.
Okay, gotcha.
I thought it was nice of Miss P.
Yeah, that was sweet of her.
I don't have a problem with her like other people. I guess because I understand her. You know.
Yeah, I have an understanding. It's been
I
around.
mean, if you don't have problems, you don't have an understanding of her. I guess I have my own problems.
Yeah, I think it's because I've been around those that have similar
Like
things.
I'm known to for what I'm talking about all together in the middle of a sentence, and like I did earlier when I was trying to ask Squirrel something, it just won't come. I mean, it's part of my injury, but it's okay though. That's all right.
Yeah, I've been around it before. Like I said, I'm not a professional or anything, so I don't know how to deal with certain situations, but I've been around it to have an understanding. And I remember helping this person like to relax, to like calm down, like take their mind off of something. So yeah, it's different than compared to somebody who does not have those types of issues.
Yes.
So when people like on YouTube say, "Oh, well, shouldn't she be held accountable for this?" It's like, yes, but nobody's trying to give anyone a pass, but that's why they call it a disability.
Right.
Hello?
Yeah, that's
Goes for other people too.
I try not to well, what's the way I'm trying to put it? Like that's why I believe in a lot of positivity because that helps me stay positive. I rely on my faith a lot for that. And when I rely on my faith, Mandy, you need to understand I believe in God over anything. I don't care what faith someone is. My faith does not overrule their faith. When I talk about faith, I know what I am, but I also talk like to Miss Portland. We talk a lot about faith. Um, I know what her faith is. I know what she believes, and I like for her to follow her own faith, and I support her in that. Um, I support people in their own faiths. I don't try to change people, but if I have things in my faith that will help them maybe stay calm, that's why I put the little videos in Allah's house up, a different perspective of something that might help a person daily, positive notes. To make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I understand.
If I don't, sometimes I mute because I don't want to give any type of background like feedback from my side on the mic. And I have this lingering cough, so that's why I'm muting every now and then, just letting you know. See, I told y'all he is calm and neutral. Yeah, Squirrel, I always had that vibe from this year. He's very calm. I like his energy.
I try to stay calm. I'm very neutral. I'm neutral because of my faith. That's how it guides me. I don't try to change anybody's faith at all, but I will talk about God quite easily because I have a degree in two things, and one of them just happens to be religion. So I've read every book out there: Buddhism, Taoism, every Bible. Not every Bible that
That's interesting to share because I used to love to go into the server thing. That was a lot of it was political. Not well, that was a different one, but religion. Like
Mhm.
not necessarily debate. Some people would, but just to, like have it for discussion.
Yes.
And I learned a lot like while I was in there, and I don't know. I found it very interesting, and it had people from like all around different countries.
It's good when you have different countries and different religions that can discuss it and get along together. Like, well, Christianity is different because there has so many faiths. Like, there's like walking
Denominations.
walk into Mardale or something Christian bookstore and just look at the wall of Bibles, and that says a lot, unfortunately.
Like they have different denominations, like which has to do with people's perception of the Bible.
Yes.
And Christianity, I think, came in the 1st century. Islam was in what, the 7th century or 9th? The 7th, I think, maybe.
During Christianity, you had Judaism, Hasidic Jews. You had Hasidic Jews and Islam along with Christianity because they were always fighting.
Well, yeah, but Islam came like later, like it was
Yes.
called,
It's
yeah,
the
later
last.
on. That's why they say that, like, they say Muhammad is the last prophet.
Yes, he's the last prophet. Yes. And they
Correct.
also think that we don't believe in Jesus.
No, Jesus was a prophet.
I get so I'm an orphan. I don't know if you knew that. And when I was younger, I made it real simple to myself that God is my father, Jesus is my brother, and although I don't see my mom that much, because I'm an orphan anyway, I get everything from my father. So that's just how I looked at it as a kid. I got 2 brothers.
There would be like Christians and Muslims in there. And I remember they would explain that because they'd be like they would say, "Oh no, we are grateful of Jesus." They're like, he was a prophet, and they always say, "Peace be upon him, peace be upon him."
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's the only thing that people don't get about me. They see the Allah's house, and they're like, "Oh no, that's a Muslim." Well, that's their fault for not coming in and find out. Christy, it's okay that you're non-denominational. Everyone is welcome in here.
Yeah, that's why I usually don't get in too much into it on YouTube, just because it's very, like, people can get offended, but I do enjoy it when people are willing to do so.
They can get offended and happy in the same throbe, and it doesn't matter to me. I mean, the only person they're hurting is themselves. What was Grandma and Big Eyes? What was that about?
The person was named Grandma and had a picture of a grandma, and now they have their name is Big Eyes, and they have a picture of an African American.
Okay.
I think even the gospel, like the 4 gospels, which is the Bible combined into one, that as it goes on, you notice how it's like they say that Jesus was trying to, it seemed like this is from an Islamic perspective. They say that it was like people were getting in his ear to trying to convince him like he was, I don't know how to put it, but like the last prophet, like he was the one, but it wasn't mentioned at the beginning of the Bible. Like it wasn't said as much when they said he's the Son of God.
Right.
That's something that they did a lot.
I think what they're trying to say is that when they say he's Islamic is because he only believed in God. I think that's what they're trying to say, and people aren't understanding it.
And they seem to think like Islam is, they say, well, another popular topic is a loving God. So when people say, well, our God isn't like that, like he's very forgiving. Well, the Bible has similar principles to Islam when it comes to like you follow the right path, you do as it says, and you can get into heaven, but it's not a guarantee. The same qualifies for Islam, but I think that people have a hard time realizing that, usually because Muslims are more, I feel like they're more active in their religion compared to Christians nowadays, at least in the US. I haven't lived in other countries to know, but at least in the US, because it's like people will practice it in private, but they're not actually
correct.
They're not as involved as like back before in the day, how they used to be. I feel like it's gone away.
That's true. I understand and I agree. Muslims are very much more active, I feel like, because of, the strong five principles that we follow every day. They affect us in our everyday life.
Yeah,
So
the 5 pillars.
yes, that's why I think that it's easier to see that we participate more because of those pillars.
What do they call it? What do you identify as? Like a Sunni Muslim or a what's the other
I
one?
I honestly refuse to say either one.
Okay. There's
And the
one based in
reason
the
for
Hadiths. It has to do with when Muhammad passed.
yes, it has to do with when Muhammad passed and then which one is the one that follows Muhammad, and I don't wish to stand in that. I used to have trouble with that when I was younger, that if you're from a Sunni family and Shiites were around you, there would be a problem. Um, and then there's actually a third version that nobody hears about.
I think
Uh,
most Sunnis are Arabic, and then the Shiites are like from like Iran, and there seems to be a lot of that's why there's like a lot of the conflict in the Middle East is centered around religion and
yes, it is.
politics as
And
well.
yes, it is. And seriously, the only difference of the two is the one that you brought up. Other than that, they're straight up and down exactly the same. But that Mohammed issue is a very big, it's a massive
For
issue.
them, yeah, for them, it's a huge issue because they used to go back and forth and be speaking to each other about it. But we have to also, like, in my opinion, like, I'm not Muslim or anything, but I think that where it originated from would be more of the credible source, which was with the Arabs. The Arabs introduced it to Iran. They introduced it to the Persians, and that was during the Arab conquest,
Mhm.
and they stripped them of their culture and forced their culture onto them. And they used to call them a certain word in Arabic, and I can't remember what it is, which means mute because they didn't speak their language. Um, but they like ostracized them and they killed them, so they were forced to follow, like embrace their culture, and that's when Islam really, that's when they really started getting into that thing, and it became very much a
The
part of their culture, and
separation,
that's where the
yes.
Islamic regime. Yeah.
Yeah, so over time, then there's a lot of people like me. There's actually millions like me, and there's also millions that say one or the other, Shiite or Sunni. Um, but for me, I reject whether my family did or say aside or not. I just stay strictly to Allah, and some people don't like that, and I've been in mosques that it's been good and some that it's bad. Some say that's more right to be not a side, to be Sunni or Shiite. And obviously, if you run into a Sunni, they're not happy. If you run into a Shiite, they're not happy. Uh, but they are happy, and you're still going to get along because you're Muslim. So it's I can practice in my home. That's so I don't have that problem as much as other people. Um, so
And they're
I
supposed to pray like 5 times a day, and they do like the rakai or reki or whatever.
recruit. Yes.
Yeah, I just find it interesting. I always love to learn about different religions because I would have to learn about them to be able to debate them. I kind of have to know what I'm talking about.
Well, you. I don't know if you want to debate.
No,
Almost.
I'm not gonna look for debate. No, I'm talking about me personally. Like I enjoy that. Like that's what I used to do.
It's a
Other
very very peaceful. Um, just how I'm gonna say it. About it. For me as a Muslim, happened when I was in war with Muslims. How about that? Hmm. Um, and it gives you peace. That's a Muslim in prayer led me to become a Muslim in prayer. and my gun was facing him at the time. And he ignored me and started praying, and I thought he was crazy.
Yeah, a lot of them don't even accept. No, no, I'm not trying to talk down on this. Last thing I'll say, I'm saying a lot of them usually, if you live in the West, like because most of those, like I'm talking about the Muslims from over in their like in countries that where it's in part of their culture. They usually, even for the ones that were originally there and moved to the West,
Mhm.
they look at you less than because you're not. They look at like they dislike the West and what it stands for, and they're taught to hate it. And they
Yes.
think the decline of the West. They think that our ways, like they think that showing your hair is being a promiscuous woman. And there have been women that have been prosecuted over there for like models, Instagram models from over there, like Persian models and stuff that were jailed because they took pictures with because it's laws over there because they showed their hair and they said that they're embracing the promiscuous ways of the West.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
But some of that is right. I mean, not right to kill them, no. I meant right of what you're saying. Is very different over here than over here. Um, it's very different. But over here I have a lot more of time with God because I can pray on my own. I can go to the mosque when I feel like it or when I'm obligated to go, which is normally on Fridays. My holy day is Friday. That's usually why you don't see me online on Friday in YouTube. Um, we ain't paying attention to this. Christy says, I'm glad I'm here. That's because I don't know anything at all about Muslims. Yeah, you do. You do now. You know me.
Do now.
She also says, oh no, you don't go to heaven by your works. It's faith. Your works show if you're saved. Um, that's a difference right there. I know when I'm doing, I'm trying to word it right. Like when I do my prayers, it gives me peace. It really, really does. And that's why I was saying about to Miss Portland that I totally was done with, you know, the subject completely, either when I did my next prayer or definitely by the time I went to bed, because I refused to take that past my last prayer time or bed.
Can I just play this? This is actually a clip from somebody that I used to speak with. I used to be his moderator in
Yes.
the server that I was in. And I don't take it personal, but listen, it's actually it's good because he lives in Iran and he was talking about like it has to do with like things that are happening now with Russia and Ukraine. Just listen. It's only a minute long. Try to hide the horrors and crimes of the regime. Why they do that? Because they don't want to encounter it. Because they have killed. And some of these Western countries make lucrative business with the mullahs. So if the level of the horror and crimes of the mullahs are known by the Western people, they would definitely accept governments and they request the government to do real serious things against the regime of mullahs. But because the Western governments want to cover all that, and want to hide all that. They want to keep dodging their responsibility against them and how they are threatening the whole. They are also having deals with them. So they just remain silent. And don't forget about this fascist communist agenda in America and in the Europe. And it sides with the Russians, Chinese, and the mullahs. Because they say capitalism, freedom is the enemy, and anybody who is trying to destroy freedom, West and capitalism is our friend. So you have traitors which are controlling your media. They deliberately are messing up the whole world and they hide necessary information which is totally essential to the future security and freedom of Western nations. Those traitors are the Democrats and the left is fascists in Europe.
That is why most of your people are to a big extent, are ignorant about what is going on regarding Iran, Russia, China, and the rest of the world.
Yeah, there was a clip from that chat. This guy that I used to mod for, it was pretty insightful to listen to his perspective. Anyways,
My perspective as a Muslim comes in more. This is why I can accept people for any faith, and this is what makes me different in that aspect. It has a lot to how I came to the faith, because but a lot of the factors go to it. I'm a veteran. When I came to the faith, we were at war with the Muslims. Two, I'm an American Muslim. Number three, but really the first one is how my closeness is with God. It gave me peace. So all those things make me a different in how I think about different things. I see America different than a regular citizen does. I've seen it on both sides. I've been in Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan. So I've seen American and how it affects people there versus how people are here. And people don't want to hear that I can understand part of the word there because they've never been there. All they know is what the news media says. So I hope that makes it a little easier to understand where I come from.
yeah. I'm glad I'm here, and yeah, we're glad you're here, Christina Marquez. But anyways, so how long have you been live? Oh, it says almost 3 hours. Okay. Too different than over.
Do you need to go and go do your live?
Oh no, I already finished my live stream from earlier. I'm not going live again tonight.
Oh, really?
I don't have anything to discuss right now.
I don't think I've ever been on this long. No, I haven't. Because I'd be talking to myself.
Well, talking to yourself would mean that you're responding to yourself. So I'd say that you were talking out loud.
Yeah. But I would be doing it for this long, and that would be scary. Are there any topics y'all want to talk about? Y'all. I'm willing to talk about whatever Mandy wants to talk about. You're very educated on Islam and Muslim, though. I'm very impressed.
Oh yeah, I like topics like that. I used to really enjoy these types of things. Like, it's not even just religion, a lot of different topics. People just don't know that about me because I discuss a lot of the drama on YouTube.
Yeah, you're keeping that on the down low.
Yeah, and there's times where I'm like, I just need more stimulation from my brain. Like, I feel like I can feel my IQ dropping.
Yeah, I heard that you were very. I heard you were very versed in Christianity. I read that somewhere, and I think it was Tia the other day said something about you and Christianity. That's how I knew that.
Well, that's the only reason, because I grew up in a Christian family. I used to go to Sunday school as a child, so I do know the Bible fairly well. I can't obviously remember every little thing, but
because there's too many versions.
It's too much, yeah. It's a lot.
That's what I like about the Quran. There's only one version.
That is true. I've read the Quran. I've read that. I've read the Hadiths. And it's like straightforward, very much to the point, and they make it simple. Like, but with Christianity,
it's very straight. Yeah. That's one of the things that I'll say about being a Muslim. Everything is pretty straightforward. I mean, your 5 pillars are straightforward. The extra, the hadiths are straightforward. Your extra things you do in your deen are straightforward. Every step that I take means something. Everything I say when I put my clothes on every single thing when I'm going out the door. When I come back in, I say something. When I'm putting on a shirt, I say something. There's just they and as a Muslim, they make sure my every thought is filled with Allah, you know. And I think it feels like to me a lot of times when I hear Christians go off that they save it up for Sunday, you know, or when they're shooting it out to somebody they're mad at, like hate speech.
All right. I can see
So
it going both ways. It depends on the person.
exactly. I mean, I seen the Christian guy in Oklahoma beating up on, trying to be bad to soldiers who died in war. And
Well, I can remember some of them. Like I said, it goes both ways. 'Cause I remember even like with the Muslims and stuff, just because
yes,
I'm an American from the West, saying that they wanted to be. Some of them were saying they wanted to chop off my head, and I'm not even kidding you. Like,
oh,
actually, this specific thing, like this thing that I was on, I'm not going to say what it was, but this thing has been, I guess there was an American that was in there at one point, like not in the specific server that I was in, but it was on this, like on this site.
mhm,
And because a lot of these like debates, these religious debates happened, and some of them are from different countries.
yes,
So we went over to Syria to train with ISIS, and then became like one of their top people. And then there was like a video of him like beheading people, like Kurdish people. And they said that it's very rare. When I was reading the article on it, because somebody told me about it on this site, and it said that it's rare that an American would ever get that type of a position, which just showed how disgusting and ruthless this guy was. But I couldn't believe that that type of stuff happened there, and it wasn't even that long ago. I believe it was like in 2018.
I know what you're talking about. Yes, it's very disgusting and it's against Allah. See, I hate seeing that stuff and people doing that stuff because they yell Allah Akbar. Then people say, "Oh, that's what makes them bad." But we don't like them either, and what they're doing is wrong. You know, so I don't like when people hear I'm a Muslim and then they think like what that guy did and the ones like him that I agree with them. I do not agree with them at all. That's not. I don't know. There's only one version of the Quran, and I don't know what they're doing by their speeches and stuff or by their master of their group. You know,
Well,
not,
just like the
not
Christianity,
the
they have
Quran.
You sounded a little robotic.
I'm sorry.
there's violence even within the Bible. It's just not like, I guess it used to be active a lot in Europe, where they would like enforce Christianity, and that it died out. Like it's just they've come up. I don't know how to explain it, but it's different. But like with some stuff with Islam in different countries, not in the U.S. because it's against the law, and if they did, they'd be arrested. But like there's over, I even know like there's over 109 verses in the Quran that talks about beheadings, chopping off limbs, pushing people off of buildings. But like I said, the same goes for the Bible, where in the Old Testament it speaks on stonings,
Yes, because this,
were killed,
yeah,
babies.
because the time that it was written, it was a different time, centuries ago. And I don't think people understand that. The Bible when it talks about drownings and all this stuff at the time that it was written, they did those types of things, right? She left me again.
Sorry, yeah, that's what they say in the Bible. I mean, that's what they say. Like scholars will say, like it had to do with the time. I
Yeah,
mean, to really say, who knows? It's like, in my opinion, it sounds very bipolar, but that's a different topic.
I that's funny. A bipolar.
The bipolar God. It's like witchiness. So you're going through rummaging through villages, killing innocent people. Then said he doesn't like to be wicked. He doesn't like to destroy, but he has to destroy the wicked. And he doesn't enjoy destroying the wicked. But
You
but then
see,
it's all about
he gives us that. We have very like adamant, like I said, every step I take is something. Everything in my whole day is filled up by something from a law, right? Like if I'm driving down the road and I see like what was it that day that was in the street and I told you to stop. It was them little, what do you call them, little white things they put in packaging.
Peanuts.
Yeah, and I told you to stop and let me move that,
Yeah.
and you were like, "It's peanuts." Well, underneath all those peanuts was a huge rock, and I took the rock out of the street and put it on the side. Okay, and people think I'm crazy for that. I could have been hit by a car. Yes, I could have.
you put peanuts.
Huh?
What do you say about peanuts?
Yeah, they were peanuts, but they were covering up this huge rock.
Oh.
Somebody did it because half of them were sticking to it, like glued to it or something. I don't know if it came off a truck or like it was weird. And I made her stop and I got out the car and moved it out the street. People think that's a weird thing about my faith, but that weird thing that I did may have saved somebody, whether it be car damage, a flat tire, or they wreck or something like that. I focus on the things that I'm supposed to do that is right versus focusing on things I read. If I read something that doesn't sound right, then I research the hell out of it. Like, what's behind this? Why were they doing this? When was this? What was this time frame? Okay, but why were they? What are these other people? What are they doing? I researched the hell out of it.
And I like to understand like where it all came from, why something is the way that it is.
Exactly. That's how I got so knowledgeable about religion in the first place. It started when I was a kid. I wanted to, I'm gonna say it, but it sounds stupid to people. When I was a kid, I wanted to touch the face of God. And it sounds silly, but other kids dream about certain things, but I dreamed I wanted to, you see that picture of God holding his hand out, the painting.
Renaissance too.
uh,
Most of the religious artwork that we see today originates from the Renaissance, which was after the medieval times, which is a very dark time in history in Europe, at least. So
Right.
after the plague, the bubonic plague, that was when the Renaissance came about and artwork was very popular. So of course the Europeans made Jesus look like in the form of themselves, like an image of them. So, but in the Bible, they describe him looking much different.
Yes. But for me, it's always been God. That's the weird thing. Like, ever since I've been a kid, I've always been a God kid. You know, never, it wasn't like somebody taught it to me or told it to me. I just remember because I'm an orphan, I just remember being a God kid. Uh, just remember saying to God, I don't know why my life is like this, but I don't have a father and a mom or brothers, sisters, and da da da. That's what I said as a kid. And I just said, well, you're my father now, and Muhammad's my brother, and da da da. And I found out different later, but I mean, that's just how I was as a kid, and it gave me security, I guess.
That's how I was too. I used to be really into I still am learning about space, learning about space. And you want to know the first thing that I ever looked up online, and I'll never forget it because it was when I was 12 years old. I put, how was the world created? So I've always been interested in stuff
Exactly.
I have to get some water.
You want some water?
Oh my God, sorry about that. I had to drink some water. But yeah.
But I thought you said something. All I heard was water, and I was like, "You want me to get you some water?" Like we're in the same room.
Yeah, get me some water, please.
Get you some water. Okay, I'm gonna feed this too
Tap
through the
water,
screen.
sir, please.
Wow,
You know the government is dumbing us down to the fluoride.
that's why you're worried about is the fluoride. I drink distilled water. Not getting me.
I was joking.
I'm not.
We need to work on your funny bone.
We need to work on my funny bone. That's funny. Yeah, I drink distilled water though, for real. You need to drink distilled water, Mandy.
Oh, I have my own thing.
What?
Where-
You don't have one of those machines, do you?
Yeah, but I have one that filters water for me.
Does it really? I mean, is it one of those the ones they say about all over on the news about it? Filters out everything and ions it?
I don't know. I just have it. Somebody got it for me it was a gift.
Well, you better thank that. If it's what I'm thinking of. I drink distilled water. And everybody's like, why do you drink? You can't drink distilled water. I drink it every day. And my whole cognitive things have changed since I've been drinking only distilled water. Like for 6 months, I think. Of course, when I told Squirrel that, she was like, what?
It's healthier to drink filtered water than to drink tap water. I mean, they filter to an extent, but it's not.
Yeah, I just went straight distilled water. I didn't want filtered water. I didn't want nothing. I read an article about it, and once I read the article, what's worse is I thought it was water that you put in your battery in your car. And one of my friend Ed said that is the water you put in your car. And I was like, okay, well, now I'm putting it in my body. And he was like, don't do that. I've been doing it for 6 months.
It's bad for our health.
What's that?
So there's a lot of things that are bad for our health, such as the food that's common in like the Western diet, that they have in our food that shouldn't even there's ingredients that we have within our foods that is illegal in some other countries like the UK. But it's approved by the
You're on my favorite subject now, huh?
Oh, you like to discuss this type of thing?
I'm telling you, I have done the I think I'm alive for as long as I have been because I do something very different than my doctors tell me to. For instance, distilled water.
Yeah,
right?
Technically, you're not supposed to be drinking
Technically, I'm
that.
not supposed to, but okay,
But
it's
you
a
do it
water
anyway.
secret. Okay, it's a water secret.
You know that they purposely try and pollute the water as well.
Yes,
They've been
they
caught.
do. I research food. I research everything before it goes in my body.
Dasani water has the same chemical in it that they use for lethal injections. Fun fact.
They were also they were also thinking about starting to call it, which they haven't yet, but they were thinking about calling it public water because a lot of the bottled water is actually like tap water.
Yeah, it's just water out of the tap, and they figured out, that America's too stupid, or people are too stupid they think we're stupid as a society, period. Dude, just run it out the faucet. They won't know as long as you put Dasani on it or whatever. And that's true. I hate to say it. If we would start, like really like looking at the stuff you put in your body, people wouldn't be so sick. Yet the VA keeps giving me the same meds.
That's because the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry go hand in hand, which is why the food industry has certain laws that are passed for them, such as animal cruelty, because it's a business. So it all boils down to money.
It is about money because it's not about your health.
That's why I really enjoyed the documentary Forks Over Knives.
Exactly. Did you see that? Oh, I can't remember his name now. The Blessings guy.
Who?
He's. I'm gonna find out his name. I'm gonna find out his name and tell you the next time I talk to you. Is that me?
You're breaking up. I can.
I thought it was you.
No.
I don't. Is it now?
No, it's good now.
Okay. No, there's a guy on YouTube and TikTok. He lost like 380 pounds. He eats nothing but natural foods. He goes in stores and
Oh, are you talking about the guy on TikTok?
the Peace and Blessings guy.
Yeah, he's on TikTok.
Yeah, he's on TikTok.
I don't have TikTok, but
That's okay. I'll find out who he is and what he lost 300 and something pounds down to his natural weight by just destroying food. I mean, like he does TikToks by walking in and picking up any package and reading stuff, and then he'll reach right over and pick up a better option and read it, and pick up a better option than that. It really gets to the best option.
So he tells you how to read the ingredients and then finds you the better option. Like, yeah, it's good because a lot of the times, most of those things are in like chemical. Like, it's people don't even understand what they're reading. They don't even understand what they're reading. I only learned that just to make sure that there was no animal products in it because there's different ways to say dairy, apparently, and you'd be surprised with what animal products are in. It's in a lot of stuff, but that's good that he does that. I'd be interested in checking out his.
I'm gonna find out what his name is. He has a book out now. So I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, studies even a plant-based lifestyle. I don't call it a diet because diets never last. You have to do something long term. If you can't do it long term, it's like those people on those shows that lose a lot of weight and they gain it back because it's temporary. You can't sustain it long term. And if you're eating under the hunger drive, like if you're starving yourself, like of course, if you're losing weight, eventually you're going to hit, what is it called? A plateau.
Yes.
And that's because your body is always trying to find an equilibrium. It's a survival mechanism that goes back to the early humans because they sometimes would go days without eating. So they needed to hold on to fat to keep, and that's why it releases the hunger hormone in your body. So then they would have that motivation to go out and search for food. So it would hold them through those days. So if you were to constantly be losing weight, you would die. So when you lose weight, even though you're somebody that's overweight, your body was technically never meant to even deal with this issue because it throws off the brain due to man-made things that hijack the pleasure receptors of the brain.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it confuses it. So it looks at weight loss as like, okay, like food must be scarce. I need to hold on to what I have. So that's why you switch up what you're doing to throw it off so your body doesn't expect it. But you always want to make sure to eat when you're to make sure you're eat. It's not about how much you're eating necessarily, but about the quality of the food.
That's right. It's like it's the same way with people when they retain water. There's something in your body that's told, the other parts of your body, we don't have water, so we're keeping the water. like your legs bloat up or your foot bloats up or your arm and you get real bloated up in your stomach, it's because your body is maintaining that water retention for some reason. And believe it or not, the cure to it of doing that is to drink more water.
Yes, that is true about beaver. What's around their butthole. Yeah,
What?
yeah. So artificial vanilla is really, it comes from the beaver's behinds. It's like the secretion. It's like the liquid that's around their butt. And they use it to artificially flavor.
I didn't know what the hell you was talking about. I was talking about retaining water, and you said beavers and butts. I'm like, what the? And I looked at the chat and saw that.
I could understand why that would confuse. You're like, what? I'm talking about sodium and
I'm
water.
talking about water, and you're water retention, and you're like talking about beaver butts.
Usually, water retention would come from a high sodium diet, which most Americans eat over the amount of sodium that they're supposed to have.
Well, diabetics will have a water retention even if they're not on salt.
Yeah, but you can get
part of the disease.
Yeah, and it can cause hypertension as well. That's why, when people get diabetes, that actually has to do with your blood sugar levels. So in food that you don't even realize that has sugar in it, when you're eating a lot of processed foods, what it does is it overexcites the pleasure receptors in the brain, which is another survival mechanism, because the food that our ancestors used to find out in nature, like for example, avocados are high in fat and potassium. So your body thinks like, look, I can get the most nutritional value from this specific food and feel satisfied without less with less energy type of thing. So that also applies to processed food. So your body's only hungry because it needs nutrition. It isn't hungry because it wants to enjoy the food itself, for what it tastes like. And that is what a lot of these processed foods do. So when you eat these things, what happens is it raises your blood sugar and then it drops. That's why usually when you eat a lot of processed food, you feel tired after that. Yeah. That is what that is. And when you do that so much as to where it rises, that would be natural, that'd be over what natural food would do. You mess up your pancreas, and that is what causes diabetes. That is one of the.
But on type 2 diabetes, don't be fooled into thinking that you're stuck with it forever. You can become undiabetic, but you have to change your eating 100%. You cannot have processed food, and no one should be eating processed food. It's disgusting. If me and Mandy went to the store and broke this down ABC, we'll just start with ground meat. They'll stop watching. Jill says the next documentary is called The Elephant in the Living Room. It's on YouTube now, and it's about people who own exotic animals and dangers, illegal sales, and the guide to get owners to give them up. That's
well, type 2 diabetes, yes, it's reversible, but when you're diagnosed with that, you kind of want to get onto your health because it can develop into type 1 diabetes.
That is true.
And then you can slip into a diabetic coma and die.
Yeah. I was not diabetic before my injury. Not at all. I never seen anything like that. When my injury happened, I was fit. I was whatever. After my injury happened, they came in there and said, this problem. Oh, by the way, you're diabetic too. I'm like, say what? No, I'm not. I'm a vegetarian. What?
Usually diabetes type 2 is from like obesity, people who are.
Yeah, but I wasn't obese. That was the weird thing. I wasn't obese. I was fit, and yet they gave me this diagnosis. This
that can happen as well.
problem I had just totally wrecked everything in my body. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it messes up your organs, and eventually, as time goes on, if you don't take care of your health, your organs shut down.
Yeah, and
Those two kidneys.
it seems weird to be a fit person, and then they tell you, "Oh, you're diabetic now." What? I ain't diabetic. They made me mad, is what they did, and you'd
Even
be
just to get
surprised.
together later on in life, their body can shut down because it's
Huh?
been they've been doing it. I said, even if some people, it depends on the person, but for some people that eventually start eating healthy later on in life, but they've been eating poorly for years, and to say they had type 2 diabetes, sometimes it's still not good enough, and it's already caused destruction to your body as to where your organs shut down, and it's like you've gone past that limit, like there's no return to it. It depends on the person, and usually it starts with the kidneys, and they can't flush themselves out properly. It can't flush itself out properly, and then they have to give you dialysis. And with dialysis, that can be risky because it can drop your oxygen levels. And yeah,
It's not a good thing. I'll say that much. So I had my problem, and they said I was diabetic. Guess what? I became very strict, and I became undiabetic. Guess what? Had a problem. Now I'm diabetic again, and it wasn't because of me. I didn't change my food that made me undiabetic. Does that make sense? Still eating the same way, but
yep.
something changed in my body again that brought it back.
And I've had people like my exes, not the ex that I was with before. I'm talking about my son's father. Uh,
Mhm.
his family, it was crazy to me because they were telling me, like, because I did lose a little bit of weight. I wasn't fat or anything. I've never been like that in my life. But they were when I first went vegan, and they were like, "Oh no, you look sick." And I said, no, it's just because Americans, like, what's become the norm is people being overweight. So when somebody's actually within a healthy weight for their height and their fat percentage, you think that that looks too thin. You're just not used to seeing that nowadays. You're used to seeing a lot of chunky, overweight people who think that they're in shape and they're not.
Yeah, I feel you on that. That is true.
Mind you, this woman had her leg up on a couch and had an oxygen tank. I wasn't being rude. I was just thinking, like, yeah, I'm really gonna take health advice from
From
you.
you. Yeah, that's my problem that I get into at the VA. My doctor tells me something to do or that they're going to put me on something. And the very first thing is I go home and I research. And when I say research, I don't think there's a way for me to explain. I'm like a, a beast. And I'm going to find the natural way to get rid of it. I work and work and work a puzzle till that thing gives me the natural way to get rid of it. Just like most people, all right, for instance, you should drink cranberry juice at least half a cup every morning.
Yeah,
Did you?
cranberry juice is good for you. It can be healthy especially to prevent UTIs if you have
It's
any.
good for your heart. It's good for cleaning out your arteries.
Yeah,
It's good for cleaning out your arteries,
yeah,
right?
for the back buildup.
So the doctor told me in 2 weeks you need to go to see. You're gonna have surgery on your carotid artery, and I was like, "What? No way! I'm not either." Um, and so told me what they said. More than 60% of it's blocked. I'm like, "What? Okay." I went home. I researched it. For the next 2 weeks, I drank cranberry juice half a cup every morning. It's gonna sound gross, but I did what I had to do. I ate a raw garlic every day. Brushed my teeth after, didn't help, don't matter, don't care. My health is more important than my breath. chopped, my caretaker chopped it all up. I did this every day for 2 weeks. God, it was hard. I'm telling you, garlic is tough.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
man. I
talking
don't like garlic.
real garlic. Not,
Ew.
huh?
So, ew.
Yeah, it's a,
Like, ugh, I don't know.
you gotta be grown. You gotta be grown. That's all I'm saying. Because it was tough. I'm just telling the truth. Cut up a raw garlic clove and try to swallow it.
And all the people, it's funny how, like, people that have, like, the Atkins diet, the guy that created the Atkins diet died from eating
Yeah,
that he recommended. I'm not laughing at his death or nothing. It's just like the irony of it. It's like, right. I don't think that this is healthy.
exactly. Oh yeah, I don't think I'm doing that.
It's just when
Jill said there's more states. Jill says there's more states that require dogs to be licensed, yet permit people to own alligator. Alligators. What? Alligators, monkey, tigers, sharks, bears, lions. The obsession is so real, so sick, and animal lovers won't believe it.
you could make your body go into ketosis just by a 3-day water fast. You'll have ketones in your urine. And that means that your body is using its fat storage as an energy source because it prefers glucose.
Yeah,
And if it runs out of glucose, it uses its fat storage, and that's how you can lose weight. But said they haven't been sure, like they're not completely sure whether it's healthy or not to be in ketosis for an extended period of time.
yeah, I know they say that, but 2 weeks I had right before I had a major surgery that you're going to work on my carotid artery, which means you're going to be playing with something that I'm either going to be alive or dead when they get off that table, right? It's your carotid artery, and I'm going to be awake too when they
So
cut.
when people go to like go do cardio and they want to lose weight, you'll see them even like I used to see them a lot at the gym. And it's like the best way if you're trying to lose weight would be to do like muscle resistance training. And no, you're not going to be some jacked person because you would need a lot of protein. You have to eat a certain way. And
Right.
but if anything, you would lose weight because what happens when you do that, your body will burn fat, your fat storage. With cardio, it has to burn out your glucose before it goes to your fat storage. Now, cardio is healthy, good for the heart, but you want to really focus on that if you're trying to lose weight.
Exactly. So I did that for 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks later, they were checking it so they could schedule my surgery. My surgery was canceled. My carotid artery was clear to unbelievable clear. And that's because I drank natural resources here, cranberry juice. I mean pomegranate. I drank palm, in that funny little bottle, the palm. I drank a half a glass of that and I ate raw garlic. Natural medicine comes in natural food. That is a major move away from major surgery by using natural medicine.
And also eating natural food because a lot of those diet supplements, they use ingredients that could be found in natural foods. So it's easy just to have that. You can feel full instead of taking some friggin' supplement.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen to people whenever, if all this stuff happens in the world, like they keep trying to scare us with. What are people going to do for food? Do they know how to garden?
They have to learn how to live off the land, eat more natural. It depends on their little area, though.
I don't know. I don't know that they'll be able to do it because they ain't even investigating it. The people who are investigating it are people who are problems now, like
But
me.
Americans get with the times and pay attention to politics and what's going on in the world because it is important. And I feel like Americans have this mentality that has been implemented in us that we're invincible. Well, times have changed, and a lot of these Middle Eastern countries that the U.S. and Western nations have been suppressing for a long period of time, and the reason behind that is because they'd be a threat to us. Well, now they are, and Russia is in like works with them in a way. So there's a lot of people that are just like that guy said, they're traitors and they're for all that type of stuff, and they're trying to force their culture onto us and their way of life. But with that said, they're doing things like this, like the food shortage and
Yes.
all that. And these countries know how to, like, they are what I call, they're riddled with war. They're like just, so they know how to survive
Yes.
better than an American would in times of war. When I say times of war, I mean like real times of war, where you have to worry for your life type of thing. And
Yes.
the US does not know how to do that. The only people that I say would be like fit for that would be like military trained type of people,
You're absolutely correct.
like infantry, not a death club.
You're absolutely correct. I believe the same thing. We have to, you can have all this knowledge, like me and you have regarding all this food, but if people don't want to change, then what do you do? I mean, plant based is the way to go, but yet at the same time, you have to know which plants do what to help you better. They all do something, but okay, like, is a potato good for me? Well, I'm diabetic for the second time. And it's not from me eating bad, it's something that's going, and that kills me. It's like a riddle that I can't figure out. I got rid of it, don't know where it came from in the first place, other than my body shifting from my injury, right? And here we go again. And I'm not eating different. I'm not. It's like the disease changed its course, and I'm following its course to see what is in front of it. It's like a mystery. You can go to the doctor and they'll give you medicine for it if you want to. If that's what you want to do, live on pills, okay. I don't want to live on pills.
But I was going to say that especially like now it's hard to tell what's happening because most of people's like they obtain their information with what's happening through social media. For example, Twitter, all of that. Like our media is already deceptive and it's like that even in other countries as well. But when you add social media on top of it, when there's channels, and I'm not talking about in this community, I mean channels that cover that type of stuff, they
Right.
like to look like they have some inside information and they get so wrapped up in conspiracies. And let me just say this. Okay. So if you believe in a few conspiracies, because some things were once a conspiracy and have been proven to be a fact, so now they're no longer conspiracies. But just because you believe in something like that does not mean that you believe in every single conspiracy. But
Right.
there's so many out there that I feel like Americans get so caught up in it and it distracts away from real issues and it makes it hard to tell what is what. And it's a huge problem nowadays.
That's exactly correct. Well, what do you do though? If they're following the news and like believing all that, how do you get them out of there? How can you even help them if you can't get their head out of the dumb factor?
I don't know the answer to that, but I just know that it's a problem.
I
'cause
think
see
it's
it happening.
I think it's something we have to do ourselves. Nobody made me start looking into. Well, I don't like pills. I never took a pill. Like for aspirins, I just never took a pill for that either.
Technically, they don't even make pills anymore. My mother was a pharmacist. Pills are like the pharmacists used to spit in the pill. They used to use their own spit to create it. Pills, you mean people, when they say pills nowadays, they actually mean capsules because
Yeah.
pills aren't a thing anymore.
Well, capsules, drugs, man-made drugs. I don't like man-made drugs in my body. That's a decision that I've made. Right when this first incident happened to me, this injury, I don't like. Sometimes it gets down to from the doctor to me says, if you don't do this, you're going to die. They get that down on it with me because I'll say I'll come back. I got to go look up. I want some time to think about it. And yet Squirrel knows I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to research. She's been around me long enough to know that, because if I come up with a natural cure, like the pomegranate works on your veins, I'm going that route first. And then I put the rest of it in God's hands.
Right. And when it comes to like things going on in the world, I recommend people to always look at different news sources as well. Meaning like things that are like in relation to our country and our nation, from news sources in different countries, and then translate it, and then like look at both sides and form your own opinion. Like you can get a better understanding to see the bigger picture. Yeah, that's what I do.
I want to know everything then, There's more than what they say, where there's more than one way to skin a cat. I'm gonna just send that cat down the road. I ain't trying this game. I don't even like cats. They creep me out.
The translator I use is accurate, because when I used to go on these things, some people spoke different languages and some of them were bilingual. And I would be like, did you just say this, and that? And they'd be like, yes, that is what I said. Because some things in translation, it's like there are things that are said that there's no equivalent in English and vice versa. So it sounds silly in English because it's not what they're trying to say. But with the one that I use, it's pretty accurate, so that I wanted to, and the reason I did that was to make sure, so when I read these news sources, I know that I'm getting a good idea as to what's actually being said.
But then there's some that they don't want us to know anyway. As a veteran, I just know they don't want us to know.
Right. I just look at everything.
Yeah. But food-wise, we need to figure out a way to get more people onto the natural product. But that scares me now, because I'm wondering if they're starting to spray more unhealthy things on the crops. So maybe I'm going to have to start worrying about my vegetables now as much as I worried about everything else, because that's how low they're going. You used to, what you couldn't count on, the ground meat and all that stuff. I don't want it in my body. Now they're targeting vegetables and farmers. Then what the hell we gonna do?
I don't know. I don't like eat some of the stuff that they're having shortages on.
They're already having. Did you see the thing on watermelons to let you know how to tell what they have made and what is grown?
Yeah, you can also tell the difference between an organic and not organic fruit, or is the serial number on it will be, so a 9 means that it's not organic and a 4 means that it is organic. But even with some of the organic stuff, I think that it's not being completely honest, because you can tell by how fast, how long it lasts in your fridge. If you put it in the fridge, usually something that's organic would get bad faster because it doesn't have it's
Right.
not preserved by the chemicals.
That you're absolutely right. They have the numbers on the stickers, and now they've found watermelons with injection, in the meat, when you cut it open, you can see the injection spots in some of them. People bought them from the store like that.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Me and one of my friends that's vegan, we were talking about this, how they're messing with fruits. It's like, really?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about, though. What the heck are we going to do
They did it
This
with
is why,
apples as well.
this is why you got to have a little garden. Start doing stuff on your own because they're starting to mess with the vegetables and stuff. I mean, you might not know how to be like Farmer Brown, growing everything there is to grow, but you don't have to. But you should start, doing get some little 5-gallon buckets. Um, Potatoes, that's a staple. That's a big staple. Depression people lived off potatoes alone. Um, Squirrel girl, I see that. Can we trust the seeds though? Well, what do you think, Mandy?
Can we trust what?
The seeds.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, but at some point you could take a fruit and plant the whole fruit or plant the seeds of that fruit. Because even if the fruit was modified itself, the fruit was, it does not mean that the seeds of that fruit were modified.
Right. I'd have to look more into it. You're correct, though.
So,
They were even doing that with bees, like bumblebees and stuff, and Albert Einstein once said that if bees were to ever be extinct, there would be no more man because they help with the environment.
they
And
absolutely help with everything, especially cross pollination and food.
yeah, and wasps kill them. So they were talking about, I remember I was looking into it, this was maybe a couple years back, were to create like these fake bees. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever read. So that's kind of creepy.
I read that about that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a wasp ninja. I got your old fashioned fly swatter and I'm not afraid to use it. I will not kill a bee. But
I'm terrified of wasps because I have a lot of bald-faced hornets around here. They are vicious as hell. And one of them got in my place before. It was trapped in a vase. And like I put a cardboard over it. And then I put it outside in front door and I kicked it over. I was like, and that thing was pissed off. It looked like it wanted to kill me through that glass.
I am a hornet murderer. I am on them all. I've killed red ones, black ones, striped ones. I don't care if you're a hornet or a wasp. I'm horned in on it, and I will kill you with my old flashing swatter, and I show no mercy to it. But a bee, I'm okay with the bee. I'm all right. I don't care about bees, but
bumblebees usually mind their own business unless you bother them. And I noticed that a lot of people will call a wasp a bee. And it's like, no, that's not an
you'll know the difference.
Yeah.
If you don't know the difference, you'll feel the difference in a minute. That's so strong. They got a strong stinger.
And when you're getting around a nest, like if you're walking on a trail and you see one of them swarming around you, it's because
that's the warner. He's protecting the nest. Out a sound so the other ones are come.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not trying, because one time I was riding my bike down this trail and one of them kept swarming around me and it was following me. I'm like, I don't want to get near your nest. Like, fuck off.
No, he's calling his buddies for you. Squirrel thinks I'm funny because I told him, you better get out of here. The hornet, you better get out of here. You're about to die. I talked to him.
Why I got off the bike and started running. As if that's going to help the issue. I was better off just staying on the bike.
I was about to say, you're faster than the bike? Gosh.
Then I had to go back.
Squirrel says I have a bumblebee that hangs around me outside. It's not just, I don't know. You ever seen those really fat bumblebees.
Are you talking about like the carpenter bees, the ones that
No,
those ones
these are huge.
they usually like follow you, right? They're
They're
um
big,
yeah, those are like the ones.
not the little bitty ones on
No, I'm talking about
flowers.
yeah, those are called carpenter bee. I think they're carpenter bees.
They're
They
big around and fat.
Yes, and they usually the ones that you see are usually the male ones, and they will follow you. They can bite, but it's rare that they do. The female one is the one that can be aggressive, but that one's usually in the nest. So they're doing it to protect the nest, but they like to like follow you. Like if you like go back, usually they won't harm you, but they're trying to intimidate you.
We
And
talking
I
about a
also
big
look into
fat
this because I used to go hiking a lot. I still do, but not to like how I used to.
and this is a bumblebee or a hornet?
No, it's a carpenter bee. They live like they can have nests, I think, even they like to make nests like around wood, and they're found a
Oh,
lot of parks.
yeah. Squirrel Girl is saying she's talking about a bumblebee, not a carpenter bee. She Googled it. These things are fat, right? These big bumblebees. It follows her everywhere.
You know that they have like face recognition as to where they can like they've done studies on bees as to where they can like remember a face, but only for a certain amount of time and then they forget. But like African bumblebees, they can remember your face for over 24 hours. So if you aggravate them, they'll be pissed off for 24 hours waiting for you to come back and they'll kill you.
Great.
Thank God it's over here.
I've been hated by a lot of enemies, but great. Now African bee is going to be outside saying, "Don't worry, bro. I'll be here when you come back. Don't worry." Jeez. Oh, man. I
Well,
didn't know they'd wait for you. Huh?
thank you for letting me up here. I want to get down.
Yeah, I'm gonna find out about that guy for you with the
Vegan guy, the plant-based guy that goes to the stores.
yeah, because that's all he does is point out stuff, and he has a book too. So I pointed out. I didn't know you were plant based.
Yeah, you know what book that you would probably like?
What?
It's called what the hell I have it right here. It's called The End of Faith by Sam Harris. It's pretty good. I think that you'd be interested in it. That's if you like to read.
Yes, of course I do. Don't you understand?
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page now. That should be scary to the whole community. We're kind of a powerhouse. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
We got nutrition covered, faith covered. We might be dangerous to everybody else, but Christy, I like squash too. All right, Mandy, I'm gonna let you go. You can come see me anytime.
All right. Bye, squirrel. Bye,
Bye.
Nashir.
I'm gonna find out about that guy and give you the info.
Yeah, she got off. She said she was getting off.
When she says bye, she means I'm done. I'm just joking. I guess we will go now. We've been on here a while, 5 hours and 42 minutes.
3 hours and 42 minutes.
Well, it
clock is
says
wrong
on here,
there.
my clock's always wrong. Thank you, Mandy C, for coming up. It was a great time. I learned a lot, and I'll be looking up that information and sending it out to you, or I'll be talking to you about it next time I see you. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, everybody, and have a great night.